Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's race, the Corn Belt 75, presented by M99 GRAFX here at the M99 GRAFX ARCA series, presented by Backmarkers Racing League. We will be getting started in just the next couple minutes here. We got about 10 minutes to go, so stick around, get some popcorn, while everybody just get all comfortable. You're going to be here for a little while. We got a lot of fun here doing some dirt track racing. Yeehaw! Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a real exciting night here at the Corn Belt 75, presented by M99 GRAFX here at the Backmarkers M99 GRAFX ARCA series. You know where you are, you know what you love to be doing this evening. It is being on Extreme Sim TV and watching some yeehaw dirt track racing. Let's get it going. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a very, very special time. And of course, as always, I like to encourage you, if you're sitting here watching this, you need to drop down below to the little button below there and subscribe to Extreme Sim TV so that you can be notified every time we do go live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dirt Track Racing here at the M99 GRAFX ARCA series. We had a little bit of an issue with our sound system, but we got it sorted out here. And of course, this is the Corn Belt 75 presented by M99 GRAFX. A big shout out to our race and not only race but league sponsor, Logan Monteith of M99 GRAFX. He makes incredible iRacing liveries and schemes. Please go follow him at M99_GRAFX on Instagram. That is at M99_GRAFX on Instagram. I'm your broadcaster, Rain Braun, alongside broadcast colleague Tyler Barnett. Tyler, how you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad. I'm excited for some dirt racing. This is going to be our first dirt race in this series ever. So we're going to see who's going to get the inaugural win here. So this is going to be another one of Logan's home tracks. And we all know here that Logan is the dirt boy of the group. So as typical fashion, he's going to be qualified on the pole. Just under a 10th behind him, though, is going to be Jacob Bradley and then Connor Morris. So great qualifying effort. The last guy inside the 23 range. Then after that, you got Blake Hoppy and Steve Loving rounding out your top 5. So this is going to be a very, very incredible race, I think. I think we're going to have a lot of comers and goers as the track starts to slick off a little bit, and going to be a whole new variety of racing for us. I mean, going to have a lot of different strategies, and the tracks in dirt racing is going to wear off faster, and there's going to be a lot of different lines coming and going throughout the night. So this should get real interesting and real fast, man. How are you feeling for it?
Well, I tell you what, I'm feeling pretty daggone excited. I absolutely, of course, am over the moon anytime we are doing race day, but dirt tracks are really special because, I mean, it's a special event. We're only doing it once this season. So it's really something unique, and plus we have the different formula. Can you please go ahead and explain to the fine folks at home how tonight's race is going to work out?
Yes, of course. So we're going to start it off more like an actual dirt track event. We're going to be having 3 heats just due to our turnout so far. And those heats are going to be 10 minutes or 10 laps. So I do think that we're going to hit 10 laps before 10 minutes, knock on wood. And 3 are going to advance from each heat. So it is going to be 9 cars that are going to be locked in after the first 3 heats. And then after that, we're going to be doing a B main event where we will then take another 9 cars, making the total for the feature race 18 cars. So there's a lot of cars here and not a lot of spaces in the main event. So it's going to get real dicey, especially in those transfer spots.
Absolutely. For the folks at home who aren't super familiar, how did the people in this current heat end up where they are right now?
So for qualifying, it's going to be, well, since it's 3 heats, it's going to be first place. It looks like 4th place, 6th place, and then so on down the list. About every 3 cars apart in qualifying are going to be in heat 1, and then from 2nd, and then 5th, and then 3 cars from there is going to be heat 2, 3rd, 6th, and then so on. It's a little bit different with these heat races, but once you finish the heat, you're going to be placed in that order. So if you win heat 1, you're going to be on the pole. If you win heat 2, you're going to start 2nd. If you win heat 3, you're going to be 3rd, and then so on down that list.
Long story short, folks, you are in for a treat because you're getting a number of races tonight. Technically, we are having far more than just one this evening.
That is correct. And as we come around turn 3 right now, we got the guys getting lined up and ready to go. This is going to be a beautiful sunset here. And who do you expect is going to win this first heat?
Well, to be honest, I have to go with my gut here, and I'm thinking Logan Monteith is going to do exactly as we thought as we come to the green here, and he is going to wow the entire world, of course, you know, with his incredible dirt abilities. You can't go wrong betting for the best, and for my money, Logan's the best on this dirt.
I agree 100%. He is so experienced on this, about a 4,000 I rating, and I've seen him beat some really, really strong guys in dirt. But, I mean, you got an Evil Empire 1, 2, 3 right now for this heat. All these guys are dirt aficionados, except for me. And I love watching these dudes rip the dirt. They're just so talented with this, and they're obviously working better on the asphalt side now, getting better with it. But just watching this Evil Empire group rip the dirt, it's so cool to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Just, I'm honestly in awe because, frankly, you know, asphalt, you know, I can kind of work.
The 26 car gets tagged by Brady Powers.
Oh, a little bit of action.
Nice save. Nice save by that 26 car. I mean, it's not a transfer spot, but this is going to be setting you up also for the B main event, too. So any spot you can get, even if it's not a transfer spot, is going to be a valuable spot nonetheless. You got Jay Bass looking for 3rd right now. Tyler DeTalent's going to be ripping the high side. The 53 is going to dive it in low, kind of drift the track, looking like he's going to try and angle it and dime in the corner, which, I mean, that's a really good line here in Knoxville. There's a slight amount of banking, but that outside right now is super strong, and Tyler DeTalent is showing him what it does. He's able to pull away a little bit.
Absolutely. And like I said, you know, I'm okay on asphalt personally. I can, you know, I can do what I can on it. But frankly, people who can absolutely control their way on dirt and run a full course race, they blow my mind. You know, a race, especially anything that's going to be, you know, 50 laps or more, to have that control and to be running it, it's impressive to me beyond measure. So always really excited to watch some dirt track racing, especially in cars that, I mean, are pretty loose and tough to handle just on their own, usually on standard tracks.
Yeah, definitely. All these asphalt cars in iRacing, they handle a little odd on dirt. So it's gonna be really slippery in the main event. I mean, on the green flag, the top of the green, we saw Brady Powers spin the tires and go straight into the wall. But that just goes to show you how tough these cars are, let alone on dirt, where it just feels like ice. And like you said, these cars are already hard enough to drive as is, so it's going to be a show. But we got Jay Bass on the outside now looking for the transfer spot. coming on to lap 7 right now. We have 4 laps to go. Tyler DeTalent kind of falling back. The 26 car is going to be on his bumper. It's going to be Jay Basta looking to lock himself already into the feature race. Doing a great job ripping that high side.
You know, we've been looking at some practice races that have been occurring over the coming week. You know, of course, our guys are always getting on the track practicing throughout the week to give everybody at home a good show and also, you know, really get a good fight for this champion. Oh, the 26 over Brady Powers. Oh, across his nose.
We got the 26 riding the wall right now.
It looked like he didn't really have a lot of anywhere to go with that connection, but oh, Brady Powers in the
definitely
wall
not.
too. That was a rough one. But as I was saying,
but
you
I
know,
mean,
you turn around and we look at these practice races, and a name that I consistently saw in that top, winning at least one of them or being in the podium section, was Jay Bass. So we could be looking at a dark horse to get a pretty high finish here.
I'd be okay with that, seeing him get his second win of the season. But Tyler DeTalent's back, and he's looking for vengeance. He's taking a really good low line right here. It looks like he's taking a lot of time away. Almost the middle lane, it looks like now. It looks like he doesn't get his car as pitched sideways until near exit, where that's going to help on his exit speed. And you can tell he's starting to reel him in just a little bit. Coming onto the final lap, though, he's going to have to make a bold move here at the final corners here. Jay Bass is looking like he's going to protect the inside, and we got Blake Hoppy, too, looking at the outside of Logan,
Ooh,
but the 29 is going to be inside the wall.
From both cars.
But
Now, oh, as we're coming
here
around,
comes
coming to that checkered flag,
Blake's going to look to the inside.
and Logan's going to take it.
They're going to put him on pole position. Blake Hoppy is going to finish second, putting him at a total of third for the main event. Jay Bass is also going to transfer, and it looks like he is going to be lining up 6th or 7th.
Excellent, excellent work from everyone. Exactly as I was expecting, of course. You know, yeah, like I said, you can't deny who's there. We have the Daytona winner in Logan Monteith, an incredible driver, regularly on podium, current points leader, as a matter of fact. Jay Bass, as I said, a surprising dark horse for this, just really managing to pull himself out. But here, leading this current lineup, we have Jacob Bradley. And, I mean, Jacob's current record speaks for itself, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He came into this race saying he's not going to be the best on dirt. And I think that's a lot of hoopla because Jacob Bradley, super talented. And I'm excited to watch him rip some laps around here and see how he ends up because, obviously, Jacob Bradley is on a 2-race win streak. He's hot right now, so we're going to see if he can keep it up even on a different sort of terrain here, to say the least.
Absolutely, that's right. He won Week 5 Darlington and Week 6 at Iowa back-to-back. He's looking to pull off a hat trick here tonight. The only thing really standing in his way, in my opinion, is Logan Monteith. So let's see how he fares in this first heat race that he's in. Let's see if Steve Loving can maybe get a conquering here and get a first-place finish just in this heat alone. And, you know, there's a lot of opportunity in between these to really get yourself some better positioning. And, I mean, I can imagine where you start on a dirt track, especially with the amount of people who might have trouble getting control or making it stick, because the track is persistent throughout all of these. You know, it should be a little more worn in, but at that same time, that might be a little bit of a disadvantage for a line you might have wanted to run. So that position is oh so important to keep yourself from having to follow in somebody else's treads who might not quite be running where you want to run.
Definitely. But, I mean, you never know with how these races are going to turn out. I mean, dirt races are just so hit or miss. It all depends on the temperature outside, the track temperature, and everything like that, and anything can change at any given second. But we're going to be going green. Jacob Bradley getting a great start, and he's going to be clear of Steve Loving, but it's going to be the 56 car looking to the inside of Steve Loving now.
Robert Brooks gets real loose, comes down on Austin Holbrook a little bit there. There's a lot of getting tight into the wall and just trying to get down and not end up in another car. I imagine, you think that's going to be a lot of what we see at a race like this?
I'd say so. Dirt tracks, they may be wide, but they can get real tight real fast. But this lead already getting stretched out by Jacob Bradley. You still have Steve Lovin running second and Chris Hahn running third, but he's going to be under pressure by Kevin Baumler, sorry. He's still a new face here. This is going to be his second start, and he missed out on the show last week. He just didn't qualify very well and was unlucky in the heat race and didn't get into the transfer spot. So he's looking to make his first main event, and he's not too far off of Chris Hahn, but we have a battle for the lead shaping up, almost a 3-car battle, actually. Steve Lovin to the inside. Jacob Bradley's
Yes,
going to drift
indeed.
to the track.
He's going
getting
real tight to
super
the inside.
sideways.
They're side by side.
You don't want to get super sideways. I know it's a dirt track, but with these
Steve
cars,
is
you don't want to
really-
get pitched that.
Yes, indeed. Steve is just really sending it to the side there. He's got
He's
him just a
almost
bit
clear.
there, but Jacob's really sticking it on the exit.
Yeah, that
getting a lot
27
more
car is
speed.
making a stick on the inside. He's getting a better run on exit. You can tell he's keeping that car a little bit straighter than Jacob Bradley. When Jacob Bradley's on exit, that car is so skewed to the left. And, it's gonna almost come around and touch Steve Loving on that right rear. That's how sideways he gets in the middle and exit of that corner. But
And JT
Jacob
Lauderdale
Bradley's fighting
has
back
jumped to the pits. He might have spun out. Most likely, he might have just been in a position where he felt like he couldn't stay out on track, trying to get out of the way of the other guys. So he has jumped to the pits right now. This is probably the end of his heat run.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully we get to see him back in the B main. But, man, this battle for the lead's getting tight. These guys are getting sideways on the straightaway, just trying to get that throttle down, trying to get as much traction as possible. Steve is going to back off a little bit. I don't think he wants to make a mistake. He knows that he's in the transfer spot and that there's no pressure behind him right now. Although, look at Cavan. He is going to be making a move on the outside of Chris for the transfer spot.
Baumler and Hahn have been battling nonstop back here in between these, just trying to get to this third and fourth position, and they're very tight. Like we said, Cavan Baumler, he didn't make the race solely on. That's just sometimes how it goes whenever you're in a situation where you got to shorten the field and you have to run a B main. Sometimes you just don't quite hit your qualifying mark, and then the heat, it's kind of a slower race. Oh, real sideways on that 56. It just doesn't work out for you. But look at how strong he is here. He came in here with a chip on his shoulder, that's for sure.
That is for sure, and he's looking to solidify himself in the main event right now. He is taking it very cautiously on that high side. That car is staying straight, almost like an oval car. That's a little bit loose, and that's how you want it for these asphalt NASCARs on dirt. You want to keep them still somewhat straight, not too overcooked on the side, even though it looks cool. But he's doing a great job right now. But Chris is doing a really great job at defending. He is wheeling that thing right now. Michael Gudger, though, looking in the wings right now. If these two make a mistake and get into each other, he's going to slide on down and put himself right into that main.
Yes, indeed. They are still side by side running to it as we come to the white here, heading back to our leader, Jacob Bradley, who definitely, it seems like Steve's backing it off and just, I don't know if he's even going to have it to be able to send it in to try to take it from him. It might just be a little too loose there, but man, he was really taking it to Jacob here, so...
it's going to be interesting. Chris Hahn makes a mistake. He makes a little bit of a mistake. He straightens out, gets to the right a little bit in the corner, and it's going to be Cavan coming off with a heavy exit, and he is going to make that transfer spot. Chris Hahn is going to the B main event. That was a great battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go actually take a look back here real quick while we have a moment and take a look at that battle. If we can. Nope, it actually just kicked me out of it. I thought we had a couple seconds more. That is all right. We will be able to look at it eventually.
Well, what do you say
that.
we get somebody in here though? Let's get Mr. Tyler DeTalent. What do you think?
Oh, Mr. DeTalent. Let's hear from him.
All right, Tyler, you got us up in the booth?
Yeah.
Well, we thought we'd bring you in here and maybe help us commentate this third heat.
All right, I'll give her a shot.
Sounds good. Well, before this other race starts, you finished fourth in your heat, and you didn't put on too bad of a show. You almost got back around Jake Bass, but what happened out there? What was deterring you from making that main event right off the bat?
Yeah, I just it was just a mistake on me. Getting into turn 3 on maybe lap 6 or so, I caught a little bit of the inside berm, and it just didn't really help. So just tried to chase him back down and was just, I think, trying too hard. So I just need to hopefully settle in the B main and just go from there.
Well, it looks like we are going to be splitting up the C and B main as well, so you'll have a little bit less cars in the B main, but you should be BQ by the looks of it, so not a bad spot there. I mean, they're going to be taking 4, it looks like, from each one, and I'm going to put my money on it that you're going to be able to make your way into that feature race and not have to worry about too much.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I was excited for this one, but it's just it's man, it's fun when it gets slick out there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, man. I mean, it's gonna be a great race, and well, let's see your commentating skills, right?
Yeah, might as well get some practice now. That was a weird start there.
I mean,
Connor
Connor
was
looked like he kept up. He kept up with the pace speed, it looks like, and it looks like the 65 kind of laid off. But we're gonna
yeah,
be going
Samuel.
green here. But he's he's on the apron already. He's gonna be dropping spots pretty quickly. That is not what he wanted.
Hoping to see Carter up there have a good run this week. Really hoping he just turns his luck around. He really needs a good run.
Yeah, I agree with that. He has just had such abysmal luck, and even last season too, it started. But he's had some great drives. If you ever just watch him throughout a race, even though his finishes don't necessarily negotiate where he's finishing, he's had some great runs.
Oh,
Like,
I get. Oh, Cofield blinking a little bit.
yeah, I'm getting that too. But this is for a transfer spot. No, Connor
Go-
Morse is going to be for the transfer spot right there, and he dropped like a rock off that start. He's going to be ripping that
Yeah, he
high
did.
side, almost putting it in the fence.
Yeah, Cofield's also fast. Can't really count him out anywhere he is. Yeah, he's looking like he's starting to settle in. Once he got to the high line, I guess that he wanted. Connor trying to put a move on Dustin.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to be that last guy in that transfer spot because you're going to be sitting there like tied up in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by sharks, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't very fun. It was very pressure, very high on pressure.
Well, I mean, this guy out front, though, Samuel Stoner, he's done a lot of practice races, and
Nick
he's
Seraph
topped a
has
lot of boards this
crashed.
season. Oh, no. Oh, no!
Oh,
Oh, that is unfortunate, but he kind of came into this race thinking he wasn't going to do the best on dirt. Not too confident on dirt with stock cars, but let's see if we can see him in the C main and work his way through. But man, like I was saying, Samuel Stoner, he topped a lot of practice charts and he topped a lot of practice races. He was a very slept-on driver for this race, I think. I feel like a lot of people could put some money on him and he'd definitely have a shot. But let's go back to this transfer battle right here. We got Cofield looking low on the 89, but he's not going to be able to get there. What are you seeing, Tyler? The dirt boy here.
it's looking like Dustin Bali is running a lot better than what he had thought he was going to. Connor Morse trying to chase him down, and it looks like these three are just kind of breaking away. Cofield trying to catch up, but um, unless Connor has a situation, Cofield's just going to have to try and stay consistent and hope and wait that he can catch back up to him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, any little mistake here adds up, and the laps are winding down. We're going to be coming to 3 to go at the line. Looks like Connor, if he can just hang on, he's going to advance straight to that session, but
Trying to
he's
make
looking
a move
on
down
Dustin
low.
Ball. Yeah.
It's going to put a little pressure on Dustin. He's going to try and step. Well, he comes out of the corner with. Yep, he clears him. Connor riding the cushion.
Oh, the 21
It's hard
almost
to
in the
do.
fence. Yeah, I mean, this kid has a lot of talent. It's just unfortunate that he's a little bit aggressive, but he's definitely been working on that. And as somebody who's racing with him on track week in, week out, I know you guys aren't going to give him a lot of breaks because of what he has done, but what do you see from him? Do you see a change from his past aggressive state?
Absolutely, I feel like he's doing better at like when instead of putting himself in situations, he's backing up the corners a little bit, trying to stay out of the way if he knows that somebody is a little quicker. But then he's also racing with with his head instead of just trying to win in the first corner.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, he hits the wall. Dustin Ball hits the wall as they were looking at Samuel Stoner. I wonder
Yeah,
if Stoner backed off a little bit, and the 89 gives a little bit of a bump to the 21. They're going to be coming down to it side by side
Oh.
at the line, and it's going to be Dustin Ball holding
Bally
off for
gets it.
second, and Connor is going to be going straight to the feature with a great race.
That was an
Wow,
awesome
great
ending
job.
there.
That was awesome. That was a great battle between those three, and well, thank you for joining us up here, and we're gonna get Connor in the booth real quick to talk to him, see what he's thinking about it. So thank you again, Tyler, and I'm sure we'll get you back in the booth later on in the race.
Yep, thank you guys. Gonna see what we can do.
You got it, man. I believe in you wholeheartedly. I put my mortgage on you to make it to the feature.
Thanks, buddy.
The Tyler Show,
Wow,
ladies and
what a
gentlemen,
race.
the Tyler Show. This is Heat 3.
That was Heat 3, and we are now
Ooh.
going to
A C main, if you said
the
correctly, right?
C main.
Let's go.
Yep.
All right, gonna make sure we put that up for everybody, folks at home, to see in our tower. As you can see, we're looking at Robert Brobst, Jackson Samsel, cousin Brian Brobst, the Brobst boys lining up that front line. Austin Holbrook, Peter Stewart, Clifton Simmons, and Craig Martin, Dade Grajewski, Nathan Gentry, JT Lauderdale, and Nick Seraph, all getting their shot here to make it. What is the transfer spot for this one?
It is going to be the top 4. So right now, yep, for what Logan was just saying, 5th on back goes home. So anybody inside the top 4, you guys are advancing into the B main, where they're going to have to do one more race to try and make it to the feature. But this is going to be some very, very high pressure situations here. Only 4 are going to be going into the B main, where they have one last opportunity from there. Everybody else going home tonight, or watching on the broadcast, I hope, even though they're probably going to be bummed out. So let's see. Let's take some guesses here. Who's going to be your top 4?
Top 4 for this one, I'm giving a slide in for Austin Holbrook. He's coming back from a fantastic time off, and he's ready to absolutely show what he's got here. I think Robert Brobst is probably going to hold his own here. And if I had to guess, a Robert Brobst can, I know Brian Brobst is just as capable, so I'll throw him up there as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Jackson Samsel, but I think between him and Peter Stewart, it might be a run for their money there.
I totally agree with that. I was looking at Peter Stewart in that Cinnamon Toast Crunch Mobile, and he got me thinking, man. He's a solid driver. He's very, very good, especially on long runs. And I feel like if they can get all 12 laps green here, he's going to find his way into this feature race.
And just want to take a moment to say thank you to everybody currently in our chat. If you're in there and you're active, you're looking at this B main. We got the tower. It's unfolded down here. Make sure and throw your predictions. Who's going to take the win on this C main? And who do you think is going to make the transfer into that B main? Let's see your predictions thrown in there.
And here we go. They're getting them all stacked up. They're going to go down this back straight, it looks like, first before the green flag drops. Oh, just kidding. Green flag dropped. I was a little bit lost on the track. Robert Brobst, he's going to be going to the bottom of the track, followed by his cousin, who is riding that berm right now, which is not something that you want to do, but looks like he got a good enough start to where they're going to be almost single file.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, and we got a couple cars
Austin
in the
Holbrook,
wall.
Clifton Simmons riding the wall. Different, all new take on wall riding.
That is for sure. That is not where you want to wall ride here. It's going to be Peter Stewart that's going to be taking the transfer spot, but Austin Holbrook is going to do a crossover on him, slide it right down underneath him, see if he can get some traction down there, and push off on exit and try and take that spot away from that 91 car.
Look at how they're side by side again. These spots are oh so important. Like we said, these two guys are fighting for the difference between making the race or going home.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be some high pressure stuff right here. So these 4 that go into the main event, or into the B main event, sorry, they're going to have a lot better chance of making it through the B than this heat right here, because the B main is going to be taking 9 total cars. So they're going to just have to make it through this pressure-filled situation, and then I'd say they have a pretty solid shot at making the feature from there. Oh, we got some side-by-side battles right here.
Tight.
The 91 is going to be sliding on the outside.
Back. Yep, 12 plows right behind him. Oh, the 523! Nick Seraph sending it in.
I was looking at him too. He is coming in after, coming from the back of the pack after wrecking in his heat race. He's going to be sliding up, and he's going to take that 5th position, it looks like, from Austin Holbrook. We're going to see if he can keep this bottom line rolling as he hits the apron. He's going to be sliding up in front of Austin.
Right up in front of Austin. Austin has to dive down. That takes a hit to his speed a little bit. He's going to now fight up there. But they are all fighting for this. As we look up front, it's the Brobst boys battling as well. Brian Brobst, Robert Brobst fighting it out to get that first place position here.
12 in the 23 door a little bit. This could also be for transfer too, because it looks like Jackson is kind of sliding to the rear a little bit. It looks like Peter's going to be trying to take advantage of that relatively soon here if he can get a view. Looks like Jackson was slowing down for a second, but man, this battle behind them.
Oh, the 12's been turned!
Oh no, there's a caution. Woo!
Oh, and the 6 gets collected.
No. So it looks like Nick was apologizing on the radio here. Let's go back and look at it.
This is unfortunately right where we're at a connection issue, but yeah, we see he just comes and he ends up getting turned. I don't have enough to look and see if Austin came up a little high or whether Nick just, uh, you know, pushed into a hole a little too much. But yeah, I have no way of telling right now.
So Logan on the radio comms was saying that Austin kind of came up into the 523 a little bit, but I mean, just tough battling. I mean, kind of just hard racing, you know, just a racing deal. But they still got a couple laps, still got half the race. They can come back. I mean, all I have to do is get a faster pair. Caution lap shouldn't count for this race, and he can work his way up pretty quickly. I mean, there's only a few cars left out there to pass. I think only 4 or 5 cars to pass, and Austin Holbrook is pretty fast, actually. I'd say has a good chance to make it through.
Yeah, he can definitely slide that car around and make a difference here. I am having some strange connection issues, and they are once again plaguing my overlay system, so I apologize to everybody here. I'm going to go ahead and actually relaunch my overlay system, solely because, unfortunately, when this happens, it can end up being a bit of an issue. So while we're under caution, I'm going to put it under the starting screen, but we're still talking to you, so you know we haven't gone anywhere. Just so I can pull up some settings here.
It's going to be the radio calls from here on out for the rest of this race.
Nope, we're about to go right back into race. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Told you we wouldn't be going anywhere. All right.
All right, perfect.
So I'm launching back our overlay system. So what happened was there was a minor connection hiccup, and it ended up doing an issue where the overlays kind of continue to glitch out, thinking that it's cycling through the group, and it just kind of does that forever, infinitely. So little bit of issues here and there. I don't make the stuff, I just use it. So
we love technology, right?
But we are, yes indeed, we are back.
All right, and the pace truck is off. We got Robert Brobst, though. He's going to be taking the green flag, and I'm sure he's going to get a good jump. He takes off pretty quickly. His cousin right behind him in the 11 car. I hear some cars scraping against the wall on the start. It looks like somebody's probably spun their tires. And we have a battle for that transfer spot. We got 3 cars. We got Jackson Samsel in 3rd. We have Peter D. Stewart in 4th right now, trying to defend against JT Lauderdale, who also missed the show last week. JT Lauderdale is going to be sending it on that outside lane there, and if he plays his cards right, he could almost get clear of that 91 car on this exit going into the next corner.
Oh, they touch a little bit. Not enough for any kind of damage, but Austin Holbrook has already made up a position, so he is just trying to make some difference here. Question is 5 laps enough when you don't... Oh! Oh, the 47 sends the 91!
Oh, we got
the 91
2
manages to kind of save it. The 523 gets out of the way. Oh!
Oh, we got contact behind them too. The 91 gets up into the 523, and remember, guys, that 47 car is the transfer spot, and he is looking to take that 57 car as well to try and alleviate that pressure on the 47. JT Lauderdale, they're sideways.
Whoa!
Coming off the corner, 5th place. Nick
the 91 throws it again a little bit.
And Nick's going to be around. That's going to bring out a caution. Lap 9. We got 4 laps to go when we go green, and remember, caution laps do not count here. So that is a good break for Austin Holbrook, who is sitting in 8th right now, probably going to drop down to 7th, which that's only 3 spots he needs to make up, and I think these 3 in front of him, he can get to him.
Yes,
Jackson, though, with the defense of his life, he's going to hang in 3rd place right now after getting a lot of pressure from that 47 car. JT Lauderdale, though, he is looking to make his first main event. He missed it last week, like I said, but he's looking to come in with a vengeance. He was not happy after last week.
And how about Austin Holbrook? He has made his way up to 7th. He is only 3 spots away from sliding back to transfer. So he's made up quite the difference from that wreck. I mean, it doesn't even look like he took a faster pair. He still sees some damage. Maybe he did. I'd imagine he probably did if he had the damage. So, but I mean, I don't know if he pitted.
No, I don't think he did. I think he's just working his way up from the field with whatever damage that he had. So, like I said, I think he can pass these 3 cars in front of him to put him into a transfer spot. But the formula is just how fast can he do it, you know? What lane, and if anybody takes away that fast lane, how fast he can get around those guys on the bottom side most likely, because this top lane right now, it's looking like the lane to be in.
Absolutely, and of course, let's not forget the Brobst battle that is occurring for first and second right now. The two cousins are currently fighting back and forth, not giving an inch to each other, trying not to, but they've practically been trading the lead back and forth while everything else is going on. I mean, it's so competitive up there, and Jackson Samsel is clinging on to dear life, saying, "You know what? Third, that gets me in. I want it."
I mean, if it gets you in, it gets you in. I mean, you don't have to be the big winner of the show in the C main. All you have to do is just finish fourth, and you're gonna work your way up to the B main, where they're gonna take 9 cars. But yeah, these two Bropes boys, they are throwing hands with each other. They're throwing some doors and some mean sliders as well. And it looks like the pace truck is off, and it looks like they're gonna be going single file just due to the cautions in the last 5 laps. That is the rule for dirt. Robert
Yes,
Bropes is
indeed.
gonna be sending it, and he's going to be taking that high lane as well as the 11 car as well. Looks like almost the whole field is, except for JT Lauderdale, who sends a mean slider on Jackson Samsel.
Ooh,
He's going
Robert
to
Brobst hits the
end
wall
up.
a little bit. Jackson gets loose, shaken off from that inside wall.
JT's going to clear him. JT's going to clear him going into the corner. Jackson touching the wall a little
Austin
bit. Feeling the
Holbrook,
pressure.
Austin Holbrook down low.
Here comes Austin from the back of the pack. Let's see if he can get to him. Coming on the lap 11, 2 laps to go. Austin is going to be taking that low side, trying to get around that 91. This is going to be insanely crucial of how fast he can get around Peter Stewart here. Because if he can get around him, I think he has a good shot with Jackson.
Trouble is, I don't think that low side has the exit that he needs in order to make this pass on Peter Stewart. The trouble is, Peter Stewart isn't quite being able to catch up to Jackson Samsel either. As we come to the white flag and we look to see which of these boys, these Brobst boys, is going to make it into the checkered and take the dub here. And it looks like
Jackson,
Robert
with the
Brobst has
slider.
quite the lead. JT
Yeah, Robert
Lauderdale!
Brobst, I mean,
Ooh, we have a spin out in
sends
the
a
back.
slider. JT Lauderdale sends a slider. This is not for the transfer spot.
And
but
here he
it's
comes
for a good
around.
race.
Robert Brobst
Robert Brobst.
takes it with Brian Brobst not too long behind. JT Lauderdale and Jackson Samsel. That is your transfer to the B main, following Peter Stewart and Austin Holbrook, who were fighting very, very savagely back there. A very impressive fight for Austin Holbrook to get back there. Unfortunate for those guys, but you know, that's the cool thing. They just got to race a couple of times, you know, so it's, you know, it's a little extra work to get in, but I mean, it's really fun to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was a great race all the way around for the transfer, for the lead, everything. It was pretty fun to watch.
Absolutely. As we look here, we can take a look at this grid. We got Tyler DeTalent, followed by Chris Hahn, Jonathan Cofield, Joseph Gregory, Michael Gudger, Carter Dyson, Brady Powers, Robert Brobst, Brian Brobst, JT Lauderdale, and Jackson Samsel, rounding out this current lineup. And how many are advancing out of this session?
We're only going to be taking 9, so it looks like it's going to be 2 that are going home. Let me recount that just to make sure.
A little jump start from Tyler
Yeah.
DeTalent there. He's raring to go.
So we have 11 cars in this race, and we're going to be only taking 9. So 2, unfortunately, are going to be going home from this B main event, but Jackson's going to have to get his car started because he's hanging out on pit road. All right, he's back and ready to go, looks like. Well, what do you think? Who's going to be the ones going home? There's so many people that are going to be advancing through this main event who are going to be the 2 unfortunate fellows that are going to get launched out of here.
Absolutely, and this is a very competitive field tonight for sure. I mean, frankly, it's been pretty devoid of cautions when you think about it. I mean, of course, that C main, it was a fight. It had to be a bitter fight, and there was a lot of guys throwing a lot just to try to make their way in. That's to be expected, yet it was only 2 that ended up really taking place during that time. I mean, that's pretty incredible. In the prior, you know, heats, there wasn't anything too bad that caused any major issues for anybody, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one shakes out, considering how far we go in. So with that, and the amount you said, from which position on back are going home tonight after this race?
So 10th and 11th are going to be the only 2 going home tonight after the B main event. And what do you think? Who is going to be the unfortunate fellows that are going to get sent home?
You know, I got too much belief and love for everybody in here. I can't make that call. I think everybody's perfectly capable. But I do think that when you look, as we come to the green flag, Jackson Samsel and Brian Brobst are not in an envious spot.
No, they're not. They're going to be 3 wide. Brady Powers is already going to make contact with with that 5 car of Robert Brobst. We're going to be almost 4 wide on exit.
Wow.
15 in the wall. And Jackson getting turned almost. Nice save by Jackson Samsel. This is going to get real feisty back here. I think our camera's going to have almost back here the whole race, or at least mine are, so I can keep you updated on it. But
Absolutely.
this is going to be intense. Chris Hahn started in the front row, and he has dropped to almost the back. He is, where is he running? Where did he clock in that last lap? It looked like he clocked in at 7th, and he looks like he's going to be falling to 8th with Brady Powers looking on the inside right now, looking strong too. They're going to make a little bit of contact, it looks like, side by side. The 11 car of Brian Brobst is going to be in the wall.
So look at that
So this
dirt
battle-
fly. Oh!
Chris Hahn in
Brady
the wall.
Powers. Oh, Jackson Samsel.
And he's going to
Jackson
get
Samsel
turned,
way
and that
too
should bring out a
sideways.
caution. No, he got turned by that 47 car. JT
40
Lauderdale got in a little bit too hot because Jackson had to dive down low to avoid the 56 that was in the wall of Chris Hahn. I mean, unfortunate for Chris Hahn, man. He started on the outside pole and just dropped like a rock. He hit the wall early, and from there on out, he just dropped anchor. So he's going to have a fight with...
Well, I mean, as we're saying, how about Brian Brobst? I mean, we were talking about him being in one of 2 not envious spots, and Brian Brobst currently sitting at a mighty fine 5th place right now.
Yeah, he worked his way up really fast. Carter Dyson as well. I mean, he's had some bad luck, but he's running 4th right now. Has a lot of breathing room in between him and 10th place. But yeah, these 2 cars that were battling last race in the C main. We got Jackson Samsel and JT Lauderdale. Those 2 are going to be going at it with Chris Hahn, it looks like, to make that final spot of the transfer. Remember, that 56 car at the back of the field right now, he is going to be the final car going into the feature race.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully Jackson can get his wheels back under him and make some moves here, because he definitely wants to make this thing. If not, we have been threatened that he might try to make his way into the booth, so let's all pray for our sakes that he makes the transfer.
Definitely. Let's barricade those doors and let's get the armed security up here. Well, Tyler DeTalent, though, has held on to the lead this whole 3 laps so far. And, I mean, I feel like he's just going to be the strong one to begin with. He is solid on dirt. He just barely missed that transfer spot going straight to the main event. He seemed a little bit defeated in his interview, but it looks like he hasn't missed a beat, though. On the pole, started there, ran there so far, and he's got a long way to fall. Knock on wood that he doesn't, but long way to fall if he wants to miss this race.
Absolutely. And the good news is, this is it for them. They just have to make it through here, hold a good position, keep 10th and 11th from making moves on everybody up here, not fall back there, and they get to run in the actual race where we're going to take that field, and they're looking at a very increased points intake for this race automatically just for being able to make the main event.
100%, and we're going to be going green. Tyler DeTalent going to get a solid start, get him clear going into turn 1. The 26 car got a really good start, though. Almost hung on his right rear right there, which that's pretty impressive to do, especially on iRacing when there's not really any given spot that the leader can go except for when the pace car is down pit road. He's going to be fighting Cofield on that outside. He's blinking a little bit. Cofield's going to try and slide up, but it's not going to be successful, and he's going to drop to the bottom of that track. And let's go back to this transfer spot right now. We got Robert Brobst, we got Chris Hahn, we got obviously Lauderdale and Jackson Samsel that are fighting for the spot right now. Brady Powers is going to come down the track.
Oh!
There's contact.
And
56 and the 55 get turned. And great avoidance by the 47 and 57 right there. There should be a caution coming out.
No caution. iRacing officials have deemed no caution here. Brady Powers now has to make up a massive amount of position in order to get himself into this race tonight.
Unfortunate. I mean, it looked like Robert was there, and the 55 just came down a little bit and kind of turned himself on Robert's nose. But that's good for the rest of the field because those 2 cars are the ones that are going home right now. Unless there is a caution that brings everybody back together, it's looking pretty set right now. That's just where you want to start for the feature race now. That's the only reason that you want to battle.
Jackson Samsel, JT Lauderdale putting moves on each other here. They don't want to be in a position to not have to end up even being close to that transfer if those guys come back up. So they're trying to fight right now to hold their positions, maybe gain a position on one another.
Yeah, definitely. Just trying to get some on-track experience, how to pass each other and whatnot. But I think everyone's kind of settled out. They all know that they're going to be in a transfer spot. That the only other two guys that they have to battle are seconds behind them now, almost on the verge of going a lap down. So it's just trying to keep it mistake-free, not spinning out, and hoping that iRacing doesn't call a caution.
Yes, indeed. I mean, for all these guys,
We
need
got
to
to
know,
for the lead.
the only people they need to be worried about are the two cars behind them. Jonathan Cofield sending it down low on Tyler to Talent. Tyler with a lot more speed on exit, but that low line has been pretty advantageous, at least in the short run, to get a run. I mean, is the strategy to try to go for it at this point? It doesn't look like many people are able to make it fully stick all the way out. Cofield has the speed. He might be able to make a slider here and come up in front of the Talent. Not quite.
Talent comes down the track a little bit, trying to pinch him down low, and the Talent's going to get a really solid exit, and it looks like he's going to lead that lap. And these lines look relatively even. It's just all about making mistakes, and whoever makes that first mistake or the bigger mistake is going to be the one that's going to lose out. You can really run whatever line that you kind of desire, it seems. Cofield's absolutely going ham on the bottom side, even though he's blinking out. He comes back in, and it looks like he's not even deviating off the bottom of that track. Right next to the berm, he's just keeping that left front right there, hooked onto it, and doing a great job with it. He kind of pushes up to the middle of the track there, trying to get a little bit better exit, and it looks like he's going to be clearing Tyler to Talent. Tyler's going to have a good run coming off, so Cofield's going to give him the space after thinking that oh, no!
Oh, to Talent in the wall.
I think the Talent definitely thought that the 58 was going to be coming up and taking his lane, so he kind of checked up a little bit. Was surprised that the 58 didn't clear himself, and now they're back to side by side.
Yes,
Cofield's going to
indeed.
lead that lap.
And in an incredible event here, I mean, what they're fighting for, it might seem, you know, well, they're in the race. Why are you fighting so hard? What if you take each other out and those two guys behind you end up coming in? Well, it's all about where they stand in the grid once this main race starts up, and I mean, one spot can be the difference.
It definitely could. I mean, any time that you're a little bit further towards the front, that's more of a help than further towards the rear, right? Brady
Yes,
Powers,
indeed.
unfortunately, the only car out of a transfer spot right now, as Chris Hahn has disconnected due to a packet loss. So you can just blame it on that. That lag took him out of the race, and ref didn't see it. But unfortunate for Brady Powers, just got unlucky with a bad call. iRacing didn't call the caution when he was stuck on the berm. So he's going to be sitting back here with some damages, and not even within sight of Jackson Samsel. Looks like almost half a track behind them as the leaders are coming up on Brady Powers, actually,
And we're
side
on
by
the
side.
final lap here. As we
Yeah,
take a
coming to the
look,
checkered flag
Tyler
here.
to
Tyler to
Talent still has it. Jonathan Cofield might just settle in here. It's going to be hard to tell. As he's coming around to that checkered flag, Tyler to Talent looking to take his first win in any sort so far this season.
And he's going to
And
get
Tyler
it. The
to Talent
B-main
gets it.
victory.
Tyler to
Well-
Talent wins the B main here at Knoxville with a little love tap, looks like, from Jonathan Cofield. Great
That was
racing.
a great race. Those two showed a lot of respect for each other. That was great racing. Hopefully we can get that in the main event.
Carter
so,
Dyson,
what do you say
Joseph
we get him back
Gregory,
in here?
Brian Brobst, Michael Gudger, Steve Loving. Steve was not in that one. The world is this thing telling me. Well,
Well, we got our B main winner up in here, Tyler to Talent. I
Yeah.
told you. I told you.
Well, it didn't look like it for a little bit, but by God, I pulled it out.
Hey, all I'm saying is I'm 2 for 2 on calls right now. I told Nick that he's going to end up inside the top 10 after an interview, and he seemed upset about it. And I told you that you're going to come in and win the B main from the pole, and look what you did. I believe in you. I got you.
Man,
I
that
know
was
talent when I see it.
tough. Cofield's fast. He's good on the bottom. Keeping me honest, I couldn't run the bottom for nothing.
I was going to say, I mean, it looked like he was making that bottom work. A lot of people couldn't, it looks like. Do you think that's going to come in later during the race, during the feature race?
I think it will, because most everybody's going to be running up towards the top, so I'm hoping it'll be 2-lane racetrack, which would be pretty fun. But every time I ran the bottom, I was facing the infield. Didn't really want that, so I just figured I'd move up and try and bounce it off the cushion when I could.
Well, what do you say about giving us some tips here? What's the difference between an actual dirt car here and an asphalt NASCAR that's, you know, not made for this slick stuff? What's the difference between those two? How do you want to drive them differently, if you want to give us your tips? That is.
This ARCA car is it's never full throttle. It's like 60% down the straightaway, and then maybe 30 to 40% in the corners. and then it just, it just wants to hook left, and then going down the straightaway, it wants to hook right, and you never really want to let off the gas. You just want to keep the car loaded and see if, keep it turning, but sometimes, keep it turning a little too much.
Well, I mean, you got yourself a pretty solid starting spot. I think you're going to be starting in 10th. So, with inside that top 10, what do you think your chances are for the race, and what's your goal for it?
Man, I think I'm just going to be patient. I'm not going to really try and drive over my head. I think I started the B main trying to do that, and when someone got in front of me, I was like before when did my heat race, someone got in front of me for the transfer spot, and I was just trying too hard, basically. So I'm gonna just try and run how I can and go from there.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go back to your team here and discuss some strategies, most likely, and good luck. Hopefully, we will. Oh, looks like you're getting called.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
All right, man. Well, good luck out there.
Thanks.
I think he just came up with a
Alright.
new merch T-shirt idea for Mr. Tyler DeTalent. You'll know DeTalent when you see it.
I like it, man. That is incredible. Well, what do you say we get Mr. Connor Morse up in here? I don't think we've talked to
just
him all season.
One moment right before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to everybody who's participated in chat so far. Big thank you to Stacy McMullen, Andrew Brooks, Adam Boyles. Love you, Adam. Hope you're enjoying the show. Hope you're enjoying your time out right now, out there at the 24. Abraham Kalufa, Goose, Tremendation, Taylor Andrews, Michael Collins, Gas Mask, and Nathan Gentry. Thanks, Nathan, for dropping in. Thank you all for participating. You want to get your name called out on stream in these pre-races? Hey, just start talking in pre-race chat. Talk with one another. Let's build a little community here, and we'll make sure to try to give you a shout-out to everybody who's been active.
All right. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck, everybody. If you guys are not making the show tonight, we will see you next week. And remember, we're taking a full field here at Auto Club, so we hope to see you next week. And hopefully you guys can hang out throughout the rest of the show and tell us what you see in the comments. Tell us who you want to win, who you think's going to win. Give us your predictions. But let's get our boy Connor Morse up in here.
Mr. Morse.
All right, Connor, you got us up in the booth?
Yeah, I gotcha. How are ya?
All right. Not too bad, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, I mean, you look good on speed. You transferred directly into the feature race, which, I mean, that sounds like a victory all in itself. It was pretty tough to get in there, and looks like you and Dustin Bolly were having a great battle side by side. Not a lot of contact made, if any, and racing respectful. And we were talking a lot about this on the broadcast, saying that you definitely changed, and even Tyler DeTalent agreed with us that you've changed for the better, and you're driving with a lot more respect, and people are starting to respect you more and give you a little bit more room and just having good battles with you too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just cool to be up here. I'll be honest with you, I did not expect to have this much speed on the dirt, but it's really cool to be up here, starting in the top 10, and just hopefully I can do well. That's the most you can hope for.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all cheering for you here. We all want to see you do well and keep that nose clean and keep doing what you're doing, man. I mean, like I said, your heat race, you did a great job and transferred directly into the feature race. So what are you expecting for tonight? What are your goals?
I think the biggest goal right now is to secure a top 10 finish. Iowa was rough. Got like 20th, so I want to bounce back. I want to improve. So, yeah, I just want to secure a top 10, and if I can go for a top 5, that'd be great. But the most you can hope for right now is just a good finish.
All right, man. Well, we're going to give you back to your team here. And we're impressed with your run, man. Keep it up, and hopefully we'll get to see you later on here in the podium interview, man.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
You too. All right.
Fantastic. Excellent sport.
I was going to say, man, I mean, that was pretty professional for a kid that young. I'm very impressed with him.
All right, now if we take a look here, trying to see if I can get a grid up. It looks like, yep, this looks pretty accurate, I think. Logan Monteith, Jacob Bradley, Samuel Stoner, Blake Hoppy, Steve Loving, Dustin Bawley, Jay Bast, Connor Morse, Kevin Baumler, And Jonathan Cofield, Mr. Baumler, if at any point we are in fact saying your first name wrong, dude, just go ahead and shoot us a DM or tag us outright in our Discord chat. Let us know. We want to make sure we get everybody's names right. And I unfortunately did not my due diligence and I forgot to ask. No, don't do that. You can talk to us about it. We'll just fix it. All right. I've been
we're civil here.
I'm very good about learning people's names, so I just happened to forget to ask you to confirm the pronunciation this evening. So I apologize if that's wrong, but if not, hey, let's go.
All right, well, we're going to be getting that 4-wide salute ready, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Yes, indeed. And of course, this 4-wide salute here, why don't you give us a little background on what's going on here?
So I'm not 100% on it, I'll be honest with you guys, but I do know that is a typical dirt thing that they do, especially here at the Knoxville Nationals. So they like to give a 4-wide salute just to say thank you to the fans that are watching, and I mean, no different. No matter how many people are watching here on Extreme Sim TV, we thank you guys for watching, and we hope that you enjoy this 4-wide salute. Looks pretty good right now. Dang, these boys are 4 abreast. You wanted the best. You got all ARCA cars here 4 abreast. I do know about that saying, so.
Yes, indeed. Man, and you know what's so impressive, so amazing, is we had a beautiful shot just then of that 4-wide salute coming around. All thanks to Michael Gudger, who's been hooking me up with track cams before every race. We have another one coming up right here. These are all the handiwork of the number 64 car in this race. Michael Gudger does some great work for us, helping out, especially helping out making the thumbnails for these. So big thank you to Michael. And as we look here, when it comes down to a 4-wide salute like this, are they going to take off in this formation, or are people going to end up dropping back under Logan's
No,
call?
definitely. We are going to be going back and do 2-wide. That would just be a lot of chaos, unnecessary chaos starting 4-wide like that. But
don't dash my hopes and dreams.
I would never be opposed to an IndyCar start, you know what I mean, here at Indianapolis.
Well, you can't say that word. We're not in connotation.
Oh, my bad. In the redacted cars, the redacted open cars.
In the Independent Vehicles Association.
The independent vehicles, I love it. Well, we don't care about that. We don't care about no open wheel stuff. We are here on dirt with some NASCARs, baby. Some true series right here. Some good wheelmen up here. And we don't care about those open wheel cars. And it looks like they are getting ready to. Next lap, it looks like they're going to be going green.
So we get a look at this field. These are guys who are hungry. And these two Lowe's cars, these two Lowe's type schemes, I've been saying that our resident Jimmy Johnson is Logan Monteith, but unfortunately, I think Jacob Bradley's kind of usurping that title from him very quickly. So we're going to have to see what Logan can pull out here to maybe reclaim some of that that prestigiousness that we've been expecting of him so far.
For sure. I mean, I didn't even really notice that they're both Jimmy Johnson cars, and they're both probably the top 2 cars in the series right now. I mean, how typical, right? So, speaking of that, we have a lot of championship implications coming up. This is race 7 out of 12. So these races are coming down, and we haven't really talked much about a championship battle, which I'm sure we will later on down this line. But right now, Logan Monteith has a slim lead over Jacob Bradley in the points, so this race could be crucial. If Logan can get a win here, keep that momentum, and maybe start turning it around and fighting for this championship and giving Jacob Bradley a huge fight for it, and it's going to be interesting, man. I definitely think it's going to come down to these two.
Yeah, absolutely. It surely seems like that. And not to mention, I mean, we're not even glossing over here the fight that's currently going on. Evil Empire having a pretty good run on the team championship right now, but Heyday Racing is making moves up. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, it looks like we have, Logan Monteith in here, Jonathan Cofield.
And we are green first.
We're coming to the
Logan
green,
Monteith.
and as I was saying, those, with an early lead for Logan here, the 65 sliding in underneath him. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Payday sliding up into a top 3 eventually here. Maybe even making a move. Wow, just like that, that rocket Jacob Bradley gets a real good stick on that outside.
He's going to be touching the wall, though, going into 3. I wonder if that's going to affect his speed on exit. He's going to be sideways. Remember, like I was saying, contact. Remember, like I was saying, though, in his heat race, he was getting super sideways on exit, almost overdriving it, it looked like. but he's getting a good exit right now this corner. He's going to keep that car pointed straight, kind of angle it down the track, and he's going to give Logan a run for his money. We're going to see who the real dirt boy is here. Logan with a slider.
Now, tell me a little bit about the tire situation on these ARCA cars on dirt. Oh, as Jacob decides he's taking the low line now. But yeah, wow, what an amazing decision to try to usurp that position out from under him. But as I was saying, yeah, tell me a little bit about how the tires are affected. What kind of, you know, tire wear are you looking at depending on lines when it comes to these ARCA cars on dirt?
So these cars, tire wear is not a thing, especially in dirt, just in general. Tire wear is not a thing. You do not have to worry about blowing a tire or anything like that. You can step it out as much as you want. The only thing is, you may have to cool that right rear down after a little bit, which all you have to do then is just back it off a little bit, try not to slide as much, and do that for a lap or two. You get the tires back under you, but otherwise, it is going to be all about tire heat instead of actual tire saving. From here, the high side is looking to be the way to go right now. Taking that high side on entry and then kind of exiting in the middle, and from there you should be able to get a really solid run, keep that car pointed straight. Logan already opening up a pretty solid gap right now, a couple car length, and he's doing what he does best on dirt.
Yes,
Samuel
indeed.
Stoner up into third place, man. He is having a great run. Like I said, he was having a really good time in those practice races and just practice sessions, and he's shown that practice that he put into it, man. I'm glad to see him up here. He had a rough week last week in the main event. No, actually, he didn't even make the main event, I don't think.
We've got a bit of a fight here. Ooh, Jay Bass getting up real tight behind Tyler DeTalent there. But we've got quite the fight happening. Connor Morris, Blake Hoppy, and Dustin Bally all fighting, jockeying for position behind Steve Loving there for the 5th and 6th spots. Blake Hoppy trading right now with Connor Morris.
It is always the section, man, between 5th and like 12th. They are always nose to tail battling right now. Tyler DeTalent.
Wow, look at that run Connor has on the outside. Oh, no!
Dustin Bally took to clear himself.
Dustin had a lot there. Connor, it looked like Connor really did try to back out of that. He just had way too much of a run. But yeah, Dustin really said, I'm going to hold this line in. And he's going to hold him. He has not lost position. I'm sure Connor probably came over radio just then. In that instance, but that was just a tight battle. It looked like, wow,
it
very
definitely
incredible.
was. I mean, I'd have to put that on the 21 car. His spotter probably said clear when that 89 car had a huge run.
He did. He had a huge run on the outside.
Connor Morris looking to the inside.
Really
get
tight.
a good exit here.
Yeah, really good save from not getting too close. Oh, Steve Loving taps the wall. Something
Wow,
is so
what
interesting.
great
Is
turn in by the 89. Hold on, watch this. Watch this exit from Connor Morris. He got a great run into the corner, almost touched that right rear on the wall, and he's going to be side by side with Dustin Bally, and he's going to be sending it in there, try and pull a quick little slider on the 21 car. Not going to be able to hold, but we're going to see if we can get a good exit.
just trying to hold that low line.
Not going to be able to hold on to it.
And you know the thing about Connor is he looks at somebody like Dustin. He looks at these guys that run the top. He reveres their ability. He's just so happy that he's even considered fast enough or that he has the opportunity to challenge guys like this. For him, this is the fun. This is the fun for any of them when they get to do these side-by-side battles and really throw it at each other and see, you know, really have to fight it out. Nobody wants to do this back-to-back. Everybody's kind of holding position as we have a caution out.
Oh, we got a caution.
Looks like
JT
Joseph
Lauderdale
Gregory.
just came over the radio.
Joseph Gregory, the 26 car. Something's happened with him. Let's take a look.
Yeah, JT Lauderdale came over the radio apologizing. I think the 47 just got into him, and I'm going to go back and look at it right now, actually.
Here we are with the replay. 26 car coming down. Had an inside line. Oh, yeah. Oh, honestly, that's kind of
looks
tough.
like the 26 came up. Yeah, it looks like the 26 tried to do a little slider on him, trying to block that lane, and the 47 just had nowhere to go.
I wouldn't even argue it was a slider. It looks like it was just inches. Just inches that he came up just a little too high, and it was enough to turn him. So it looks a lot like a racing incident to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'd chalk that up to a racing incident most likely. That's just kind of what you're going to get with dirt.
So we take one look back one more time here at that wreck from the blimp view. Yeah, I just think the 26 ended up coming up a lot higher than he was intending to. Not really trying to throw a block, and that 47 car, he had nowhere to go. So
yeah, it just happens. Like you said, racing deal. Well, since we're under caution, do you want to get somebody up in the booth? If so, who do you think?
Well, I think, I I don't want to throw any of our top guys off their mojo right now, so let's not ruin Jacob Bradley's night or mess with Logan Monteith. But I mean,
How about Dustin?
let's talk to Dustin. Yeah, it's a good idea. He's having that bottle with Connor. Let's talk to him.
All right, Dustin, you got us up in the booth?
I do. How you doing, gentlemen?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
It's a little hairy out here.
It looks like it, man. I mean, you and Connor got into it. What'd you see on your side?
I think it's just hard racing. We're both good to go. I thought he was racing clean. It's honestly just trying to keep the car in a straight line. So I expect there's gonna be a lot more bumping the rest of the night.
Well, as somebody who's very well tempered usually, how are you thinking about Connor racing tonight? I mean, just all in all, I mean, we've had a lot of talk about him. He's been a controversy this whole season. Looks like he's turning it around, and as somebody that's been racing side by side with him all night, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking good. I'll give him a B+. That's my final answer.
Yes,
I like it, man. Well, we'll get you back into your team before the green flag drops, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, exactly
Alright.
like we said there. Dustin saying the same thing that we saw. It was just, as we come to the green flag here, it was just honestly, Connor had an incredible run on that outside. Dustin tried to close the door a little bit, but they kind of collided at the same time, and it was enough to, to end up causing them to have to readjust for a moment. But again, like he said, it's dirt track racing, bumping, rubbing's racing. That's to be expected at this point. So, yeah, this is, I mean, it's all very entertaining. That's what you really come to see for the dirt tracks. You want to see these cars sliding. You want to see them being able to bump into each other a little bit, give a little bit of a rub, knock each other around just, slightly. Not enough to, ruin anybody's night or turn anybody around, but... Oh, Dustin Ball, yes, I'm saying that. Jonathan Cofield got tangled up a little bit there.
Oh, he's
really,
ripping the wall.
really tears up his back end for Dustin Bally there, but...
3 wide.
Oh.
Almost.
Blake Hoppy
4
cutting
for a
down.
second. They were a bumper away from being 4 wide.
Blake Hoppy
Kofield's
cutting
ripping
down
that
right
wall
in
now.
front of
He's on
Connor
that
Morse.
cushion. Wow, what a run from Jonathan Cofield. Let's watch this line for him for a second. He's going to be entering really, really high. He's going to scrape that wall a little bit, kind of connect, and just pull that car along. He's going to be losing some parts, though, of that car. That deck lid looked like it was flopping for a second.
I think that might be his connection. Mostly. I know I've seen some damage appear and then disappear off of his car, so I don't know what's what anymore from him. But I was going to ask before, as we're actually looking at the roof cam on Jonathan Cofield, watching the Steve Loving throw the back of that car around. I've seen a lot of these guys, they've ended up coming into a position where they really throw it and they tap that rear quarter panel just enough off of the wall, kind of gives a little bump, and then they run off of it. Is that a strategy thing? Is there any kind of ability to that, or is that just damaging the car?
Nope, that is a great line to take. I mean, I don't know what these are Logan's rules. I don't know what his rules are about this, but technically it's a little bit frowned upon in the dirt racing community on iRacing because it does give you a little bit of a speed boost. It keeps your car straight.
Oh, the five car!
Down. Oh no!
Robert Brobe spun around by Carter Dyson, it looked like, but I'm unsure exactly what happened there.
Kevin Baumler was stuck. He is pretty damaged on that rear end, that left or that right rear. Sorry. Let's see what happened here. So the 88 car looks like he just sent it super deep into the corner. The 5 car kind of slid up and netcode. Maybe a little bit of netcode, and then the 88 spun out in front of the 5. Nowhere for Robert to go, but Baumler was the main culprit in that one, it looks like. I'm going to go to the chase view to see if there was any sort of damage.
It looks like the 5 car did manage to actually save himself from getting into anything too severe there. Thankfully, he just kind of got spun around a little bit.
Yeah, and also looks like that was just all on the 88. He touched that right rear, got a little bit too loose, and spun it right in front of Robert. Like I said, had nowhere to go.
And
so Cofield is going to be getting an EOL for riding that wall. He was the only car really ripping that fence the whole way around the track, and you saw how much he was gaining. So
yeah, that is specifically prohibited. Robert Probst is currently in the pits, but this is something that is specifically prohibited. It is not kind of a last minute throw out there. These drivers are known ahead of time. Anytime we're on a short track, we did we raced already this season when we were at North Wilkesboro, and you know, people were talking, making jokes about being able to do a wall ride, and race control and admins of the league have made it very clear that is illegal. We are not, you know, allowing for that. It's not only is it, you know, kind of cheap to be able to throw it around all the time, but it's also a bad opportunity because if you don't quite make it and you don't get that Chastain line just right, you could end up not only ruining your time but ruining a couple other people's time. So we're just avoiding that entire controversy already, and you know, it's been prohibited. So there is a precedent
and I
set
mean,
for something like that in this league.
that's almost exactly what happened too with the 88 of Cavan. Where'd the mouse go? Oh, there it is. He was riding that wall, and then he tried to slow down the car a little bit because he just had such a good run, and there was already a car out there, and had to slow it down, and the car just got super upset. But we're going to be going back to green here. Logan Monteith's going to be taking that high side and running away with it already. Already got a couple car gap between him and Bradley. He has just been the class of the field all night.
As we look at Logan Monteith taking off there, we're going to try to take a look at the rest of the battles here as we go. Oh, Jay Bass! No! Jay Bass is tangling with Connor Morse.
Getting into Connor Morse.
iRacing officials not calling a caution here. A lot of
that's
damage to the front of
unfortunate
that
for
53
Jake.
car.
For Jay Bass, man, that is so unfortunate. He's just had no luck on his side either. Him and Carter Dyson, they have just had zero luck on their side. And going back to it, I don't know whose fault that really was. I mean, it was kind of just a racing deal. They kind of came together, it looks like. Connor made a big move, came down a couple lanes, and looks like that's going to have to be reviewed, I think, unfortunately for Connor, but
Yes,
it is what it is. That's as close to a racing deal, I think, as you're going to get.
Jonathan Cofield already making up huge spots right now. A man on a mission here. I mean, this is the thing about...
there's a wreck between the two friends! Bali!
Steve Loving, Dustin Bawley. Oh, Jackson Samsel. And that is the caution.
Oh, no. Let's see what happened here. So it looks like the 27 car of Steve Loving is going to enter a little bit too hard. He's going to just loop it on his own and right in front of Bali. Wow, he took out his buddy just on his own.
Let's take a look here as we go into the blimp view. Following Dustin Bawley here as he's riding along. Oh, yeah, Steve just gets too sideways, comes down. Dustin didn't see it. Enough to clap him there. And as for Jackson, I'm unsure. I'm gonna have to go take a look back here. JT Lauderdale looked like it says he got involved somewhere here. Let's take a look back.
Yeah, him and Jackson Samsel got into it. They spun like right behind those two that were spun out already.
Oh,
Luckily,
I see.
there wasn't more damage to it.
Jackson looked like he got kind of loose. He tagged Robert Brobst on the tail coming out, but it looks like Robert managed to hold it in. Wow.
Yeah, that was a great save by Robert.
As we take one more look, want to go back into the Dustin Bawley cam here. Go on his roof for this. See what he saw as Steve ended up going sideways. Get kind of an idea from this roof cam. Yeah, he disappears out of sight. And then he's just in front of him. Not a lot you can do there.
Well, this race has been really action-filled so far. I mean, all night throughout all 100 races that it feels like we've done so far, and we still got quite a few laps left in this one. This is going to get intense. I feel like this is going to come down to it, whether it's not even for the win or not, because Logan looked like he has the show taken. But this battle for the fifth on anyone's game right now.
And as we sit here coming around to lap 22, as we're sitting in the third caution here, do want to remind you that you're watching the M99 GRAFX presented Corn Belt 75 here with us in the Backmarkers Racing League in the M99 GRAFX ARCA series. As we're coming around to the green flag, just want to say once again thank you to our race sponsor and our series sponsor, M99 GRAFX. Please go drop them a follow at M99 GRAFX. Oh, Connor gets turned by Carter.
Wow.
Connor's turned by Carter.
Move.
What happened here?
It looks like Carter just got in there a little bit too hot, got on that rear bumper, and just sent him down the track.
Yep, just enough to take him there. As we looked at that onboard, let's head back and take a look. Yeah. Unfortunate for Connor there. He's definitely, you know, and it collects Robert Brobes too. Really unfortunate for the both of them. Robert, unfortunately, just seemingly keeps being found in places he doesn't want to be. Repeatedly, the poor guy. Also feel bad for Connor Moore's here. He's been trying to keep his nose clean. He's just been having, you know, as good fights as he can with people. And just, you know, ends up being taken there for a little bit of a ride. Hopefully we can, you know, he's definitely shown us that he can make his comebacks. So hopefully we'll be able to see him after this pit cycle come up and start ripping his way back through, just as we've seen Jonathan Cofield doing, as he is now in 9th place.
Yeah, he's working his way up through the field as well, and like you said about Connor, just unfortunate. He didn't really have anywhere to go in that last one. He just got tagged in that rear bumper from Carter Dyson, and it just spun him across the track, so unfortunate, but we're going to see if he can work his way through the field and relatively clean, hopefully. As we get lined up, we're going to get ready to go green here again. Lap 22, going to be 23. Almost a third of the way done with this race. Still got a lot to go, and
look at Dustin Bally all the way back up there.
Logan Monteith's going to be sending it, and he's going to get clear already.
He throws a big old slider block on that 50 car. It might have been a little too much as he came around, almost drug the wall. Really had to pull himself out of there. That was a big move to try to put some distance. The reality is, Logan sees the threat that is currently presented to him in Jacob Bradley. I mean, it is, you know, unbelievable. Jacob really didn't feel like he had a good run potentially coming into this race, and he must have been definitely practicing on this track.
Tyler turned Stoner. Tyler turned Samuel Stoner. Oh no, big wreck. Cofield's upside down.
Tyler to Talent.
Yeah, that was all into the Talent. He just got in there a little bit too hot. Tagged that 65 car. Wasn't expecting him to slow up like that, and turned him. Same incident as the Connor incident, but man, that's just unfortunate for those guys.
You're having a lot of cautions right now. We need these guys to tone it down just a bit here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
they got a little bit too aggressive, but it seems like Samuel Stoner came over the radio and just said that it was his fault. He tagged the wall, slowed it down a little bit too much, and just Tyler wasn't expecting it, so took a little bit of the blame for that one. So, I mean, good on him for that. I mean, I don't think I'd be as happy if I was in that position, but respect to him.
Yeah, it's real tough here. There was definitely a lot of issues that went into this. It's really unfortunate Cofield ended up on his roof because you know, he took a lot of damage. He had to tow out, of course, and that's going to put a lot of hampering on his race, you know. If there's even going to be an ability for him to make that comeback at this point. A lot of people got tagged in that one, though. Really, really unfortunate to see.
Well, since we have some time here, what do you say we get somebody in the booth? Anybody you got on mind?
Frankly, not particularly. I'll tell you what, everybody's been throwing so much at each other. It's honestly hard to pick out who's really going for it. I mean, we could always talk to Steve Loving.
Or I got somebody in mind too. Let me bring him into the booth.
Oh, a surprise. Surprise
The
guest.
number 8 of Blake Hoppy. You got us up in the booth?
Brilliant call.
Yeah, what's up?
Not too much, man. Well, let's start off with this inspirational story that you got for us. You just got out of surgery, what, 2 days ago?
Yeah, I had spinal surgery on Tuesday.
And you are here running inside the top 3 right now and having a solid run. You locked yourself into the main event directly, and even with this back surgery, not affecting much out of you.
Yeah, hang on. You mind if I...
Yep, we're going to send you back right now. Man, these caution laps go by relatively quickly, man.
They do.
We are going to be going green. And Logan is going to be jumping out to a pretty solid start once again. I mean, he's got these restarts locked down. Don't mind the voice crack.
That's right. This is excitement showing, really.
That's right. That's right. I'm just getting preemptively excited for the end of this finish, or end of this race. But
Well,
Logan just, touching the fence, getting into it pretty heavy.
Yeah, everybody's scraping the wall a little bit coming out. I mean, like we said, the little tap, what that is, it's just maybe the line. I mean, it's really hard to tell, but everybody pretty much is able to pull away immediately without getting too wrapped up into anything.
Yeah, for sure. We have a nice battle brewing here in 16th with Jay Bast and Connor Morse right now. We're going to see how these two work their way through the field. Robert Bropes is going to be to line it up all the way to the top of the track. He's going to collect Sam, so he's going to take him out.
Whoa! And Connor
That
Morse,
was
too. Connor
a
Morse
little
cannot
malicious.
catch a break right here.
That almost looked a little malicious. I'm not going to lie to you here. He sent it in there super, super deep and just slid it up to the top of the track. Jackson was a little bit slow up there, but tagged him in that left rear.
And just like that, we're on our 6th caution. This is a lot for this feature. I mean,
That really is. I mean, it's just been the span of these last few laps. Unfortunately, we got to start cleaning it up. But we had a nice green flag round to start it off. I don't wonder what happened.
if we look at the 5. Oh, it's hard to tell, honestly. Yeah, it looks like Jackson was just a bit slow. And Robert, I guess, wasn't expecting him to still be there as he was making it slide around the track. Didn't look super malicious while I'm kind of looking at it there. I mean, just looks like a case of a lot of crew chiefs and spotters are definitely on holiday this week.
I just got a message from Mr. Nick Seraph. He sent me a picture of him and sitting in his rig with his relatively new baby. I think only a couple months old, and he sent me teaching her how not to drive. Well, Nick, if you are watching, that made me laugh, and that made my day as well. So, good job tonight. I mean, regardless, you almost had the transfer spot for a little bit, and you were getting after it, man. I was very impressed with you, so nothing to be ashamed of. These dirt tracks are hard with these asphalt cars, so hopefully you're still watching, and maybe even if your family is still watching too. Thank you guys for tuning in almost every single week.
And not just the
Okay.
Seraphs, a big thank you to all the families who do tune in to support the different individual drivers. We know there are many of you out there. We hear about the moms and dads and siblings, cousins, all tuning in, friends, just to watch their friends or their loved ones in here, racing their hearts out. We really appreciate you guys stopping in. We try to put on a good presentation and try to have a really good show for you and really get a chance to showcase as many people as we can. So, you know, we really appreciate you guys showing up week in, week out, giving us the viewership, and helping us grow this league so that we can continue to launch it to the place that it's going.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody that is watching right now, it looks like we have 28 people watching live right now. That's pretty awesome. If you guys are in here and you guys are family members of somebody or friends or something, we should interview. Give us a shout out. Tell us who you want us to talk to during a caution break or something. But anyways, we got a green flag drop here. We got Logan Monteith once again out to the lead. Jacob Bradley up in the 2nd place, and the man with the back surgery, that's just so impressive to me, running 3rd place right now. Dustin Bally taking the high side in 4th place. We got a battle for 5th between Carter Dyson and Brian Bropes. They're side by side coming on to the exit of 4. Right after him, we got Michael Gudger and Steve Loving right behind him. Joseph Gregory having a really good outing right now in this feature race. He's going to put a slide job on Steve Loving. Nice
Oh,
job, and once
we're
again
in
a
caution.
caution as Kevin Bally getting
Kevin
launched up in the
turned
sky.
around.
Baumler, sorry. I was
Yeah.
thinking of our boy out here.
Not
Dustin
related
Volley.
to Dustin, that we know.
Let's see what happened here, though. The 47 car just moves in the corner, and 88 just gets collided.
Hey, listen, Tyler, I know you're an alien, but I mean, come on. Make your connection sound a little bit better. You're going a little ghosty on me.
I'm trying, man. I mean, you know my issue with the Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah, 47. Looks like the 88 just tried to kind of collect himself. Oh, man, the 65 unwittingly ending up coming up underneath the 88. Yeah, again, that was just two cars trying to correct simultaneously, it looks like, and unfortunately, their corrections led to them bang right into one another. I do want to take a moment to read out a comment we just received here in the live chat. We very rarely get to actually break to live chat, but I believe this is one we definitely got to look at. Big shout out here to Ryan Morse saying, crew chief / dad checking in, keeping Connor stocked up on Duncan and Dew.
I like it. Well, thank you for watching, and your boy's doing pretty solid. I mean, he's got involved in a couple unfortunate wrecks, but I feel like he's going to be able to work his way back through the field and possibly nab a top 10, if not a top 5. I mean, he's had some speed early on, and we're all proud of him right now. So, hopefully you keep on watching. Hopefully he gets a good finish, and thank you for tuning in. Like I said, for everybody that is watching, that is related, or just any sort of fan in general, let us know who you're pulling for in the chat here.
Absolutely, and I have no idea why Connor's 89 is not showing up on his driver card, but believe me, that is his number.
That is the 89, the Dunkin' Donuts machine, Mountain Dew as well. I mean, that is a vibrantly pink car with another warm color.
And we are on our 7th caution as we're coming around to the 30th lap. I do want to, again, maybe I can get it out this time before we go green. Give a big thank you to our sponsor for the race and to the series, Logan Monteith, who's currently our leader. You can go follow him at M99 GRAFX over on Instagram. You can see it on his hood there. It is at M99 GRAFX as we go green, and we're heading back into it.
Bradley in the wall pretty heavily. He's going to be using that physics glitch, and he's going to have a really good exit on 2 right here. He's going to be reeling in Logan.
Oh,
another yellow.
Brian Brobst also turned around here. Oh, Robert Probst almost clips him. It looks like he touches him a little bit. What happened here?
The 11 car just came down the track and just did not see that 15 car. I wonder what happened because we were all running really clean for a while.
Do you think this has something to do with tire wear? Is this just people losing control? I mean, what could this be at this point?
Just people losing control. Just people losing control and just having some unfortunate events, people getting a little antsy, just short track tempers. But for sure, we're going to have to start cleaning this up relatively soon or some actions could be brought down, unfortunately.
I don't mean to laugh, but it is unfortunate that everybody managed to seemingly evade Brian Brobst on his way down the track, except for his cousin Robert, who managed to tag him right in the rear coming around. Really unfortunate for Robert. It's really funny how that irony shakes out sometimes. These two cannot stay away from each other on track.
For sure. I mean, we are not even halfway in this race just yet, but I feel like after this, they're going to start to understand it, and they're going to start straightening everything out.
In big stories here, we want to take a look and highlight some of the guys who've been making moves. This, of course, Logan Monteith, Jacob Bradley, Blake Hoppy, pretty much been the top 3 locked down all race long. Not much of a surprise when it comes to me, really. I mean, you have 3 really strong competitors, and 2 of those guys, they race dirt. So, I mean, it's especially 2 of those guys being Evil Empire guys. That is more than a familiar sight I imagined I'd see. Followed up by Dustin Bally, who's pretty much been up at the top, managing to get back up to where he is after that tank that he took from Steve Loving. Steve himself has climbed back up position. It looks like Steve has settled into 7th here, just behind teammate Michael Gudger with Vintage Racing. Tyler DeTown has climbed himself back up into the top 10, as well as Jay Bass finally sliding his way up. Connor Morse finding his way into 12th position, followed right there behind by Jonathan Cofield, who's also made his way back up. I mean, they haven't had a lot of green flag
And we
runs
are
right
green.
now to make big moves, but hopefully we're going to be able to see a chance here so that these guys that have been waiting to get, you know, their itch to get back into that front section, they have the opportunity as we take a look.
There's a little bit of contact going on in the rear of the field, but everybody's going to get away clean here, thankfully. Michael Gudger ripping that wall right now. He is running in 6th place position, and he is going to be looking at that 15 car who's having a fantastic run of Carter Dyson inside the top 5. 3 Evil Empire cars inside that top 5, and all 4 of them occupy the top 10.
Absolutely, and you know, we haven't talked about him a lot, but he's almost an unsung hero of the season so far. Not only in the work that he's been doing behind the scenes, helping me out to prepare for some fantastic streams that we've been putting together for all of these broadcasts that we do, but also in his ability and what he's been doing on track. He hasn't quite taken one home yet since the preseason clash at Daytona. It hasn't been able to turn in a points race podium just yet for himself, but he is a very consistent and very talented driver, and we know we'll definitely be able to see more out of him with time to come.
Definitely, and I think a top 10 for him is more than he was expecting. He was not even expecting to make the show. He was telling me beforehand, but he is just having a great time out here. It looks like ripping the fence. He's going to be looking at Steve Loving, who got around him, so he's going to be battling for 6 right here as he takes the fence, and he's going to be in control of that car. It looks like that thing was just planted in the corner. That was pretty impressive. He's going to take that high side and going to check up, let Steve get in front of him real quick, and try and set him up for the 3 and 4 here. He's going to be ripping the wall and gets a little bit too sideways. Not going to be able to get a good enough run on exit, it doesn't look like. Steve Lovin going to hold on to that position for another lap. But like you were saying, man, an unsung hero. Fairly consistent, just unlucky it seems as well. I mean, a lot of people have been unlucky, but he had a great run last season. He was a very slept-on contender, finished 3rd in the points. It came in the last race. Unfortunately, I know Adam is watching, and it came at the expense of Adam going down pit road a little bit too fast. But yeah, Michael Gudger, definitely an unsung hero, like you said.
As we take a look back just behind them, we have a big old battle going in this just inside the top 10 slot between Jay Bass, Joseph Gregory, Tyler DeTalent, all kind of fighting each other here, as well as Connor Morse now getting himself involved in the mix.
Cofield's there too. I mean, like I was saying, Connor Morse is going to find himself back inside that top 10. He's battling a really good dirt racer right now.
It's
2
a
really good dirt
5-car
races,
battle
mind you.
sliding around the turn here. Really, really amazing stuff we're looking at.
Meanwhile, it looks like we have a battle for second that was brewing for a while. They were side by side for a couple of laps. Blake Hoppy taking that low side, trying to get that thing developed, and the 50 car of Jacob Bradley just ripping that high side. I know Blake really wants to beat Jacob Bradley. He's a hothead. We all know Mr. Blake Hoppy, and we have
Mr.
a lot of
Excitement?
news articles. Yeah, Mr. Excitement, that's for sure. He and a lot of Payday Racing drivers and ex-Payday Racing driver Brady Powers, they kind of all got into it for a little bit, but it's pretty fun to see how they race each other.
Yes, indeed. And you know, it's not often. Jacob Bradley's a really strong driver, and you know, it's not a discredit to anybody in here. It's just hard to say who's gonna have like a full challenge on him on some of these tracks with the way he's been ripping it out these like last 2 races, taking it home back to back. Of course, he's really trying to pull the hat trick, but as we said, Logan Monteith kind of has Knoxville down on lock. It's almost like a, you know, it's like a hometown track for him essentially when you come to think about in terms of what he likes to do, you know, where he finds his home in dirt. But of all the people
Not only
that I
that,
think,
too, but it's quite literally a
Dustin
hometown race.
Bali.
Knoxville's only a few hours away from him, so this and Iowa Speedway were 2 hometown races for him, and he's performing well at both so far.
Dustin Bali's fighting Blake Hoppy, but I was going to say of the people that really have a shot of taking it to Jacob Bradley, I think it's the 2 cars behind him, Dustin Bali and Blake Hoppy. Blake Hoppy, incredible on this dirt so far. He's having a little bit of struggle right now, but he's shown that he can get himself back up there. Carter Dyson, though, I don't want to, you know, it's not to jinx anything because he's having such a nice run right now, but Carter Dyson has really inched his way up and shown that, you know, it really has been a big string of bad luck for him for the most part in a lot of these races. He is more than a competent driver and very competitive.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I'm definitely kind of cheering him on, and I've seen his luck. I've seen it throughout last season and this season, and unfortunately, just never went his way except for 1 race last season. And It's looking like that, knock on wood, could be turning around for him right now. He's going to be looking at Dustin Bolly for third. This could be his first podium if he is able to capture Bolly here. And he's going to get a little bit tight
really
behind the 21,
tight there.
trying not to wreck him.
If you were to the untrained eye, it might have looked like he was trying to turn him, but it was just trying to get out of the way so he didn't turn him at the same time. Very similar motions there. As it looks like Logan Monteith is catching on the backpack here. He
just got around Robert Brobst, and he is looking at JT Lauderdale right now. I know he was saying all the lap cars go high, please. And we're going to see if this can either increase or decrease the gap between him and Jacob Bradley. I mean, he's opened up almost a whole 2-corner lead. He almost has 1 and 2 pulled away on Jacob Bradley, so he's just having a good time right now and trying to figure out new lanes. It looks like he's definitely starting off low, sliding up high. And I wonder how that's going to work on his car. I mean, I've never seen that line here done before, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this long run speed plays out if he keeps on doing that line.
As we go on board with our leader right now on his roof cam, take a look at the line that he's running here that has been so dominant. He's been kind of alternating between, but for the most part, he comes in
the
real
wall
low,
pretty hard,
and he manages to get up kind of high. It might have been just kind of a bad turn here, but man, look at that track. It's looking real slick and muddy here, and they are really putting it all out. But yeah, as he comes in real tight, kind of lets it up as he's coming up the middle of the turn, and then he sends it on exit just so he doesn't, you know, he can really stick it out there. And that's been the difference maker, putting 3 seconds on him and Jacob Bradley, who Jacob Bradley is now coming up on JT Lauderdale, looking to continue to move past these.
We have a battle for 10th right now. We have Connor Morse and Michael Gudger right now. They are bumper to bumper.
Ooh.
The 89 tried to take a low side, and the 64 tried to block, and they were no sail for a second. They made a little bit of contact, a little bit of a bump and run, it looks like, but
a little bit of a fight
Connor
happening
Morse
here.
is gonna put a slider
Whoa.
on him. The 64 comes
Door
track.
slamming.
Michael Gudger came down the track in my eyes.
That's that dirt track racing right there. They're just getting hairy. The thing is, this is kind of the expectation you see when you look at a dirt track. With an asphalt, you don't want to see guys constantly nailing into each other and, you know, getting in positions where things are turning. But with dirt, you're sliding everywhere. Guys are looking for position. You're getting a lot of, you know, you're trying to maintain a lower speed coming around these corners. I mean, a lot of your position can come from just making a good little tap on somebody. So, I mean, it's just a part of the entertainment for us personally, but it's also just a good move to be able to, you know, get a little bit into somebody else and, you know, try to advance your position there. It's not like this hasn't been something everybody's been doing. I cannot wait to see what an incident count on a track like this by the end of this thing.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. There's going to be a lot of 2Xs, and if they don't count the 0Xs, thankfully they probably won't. I'd probably multiply it into the, like triple digits of just that minor contact of 0X.
Yes.
Well, we got a nice battle here brewing for 4th. Carter Dyson has not really left the tail of Blake Hoppy, and Blake Hoppy has not left the tail of Dustin Bolly. That's actually for 3rd right there. That's for a podium spot. Blake looking to make another top 5 and another podium run. Right after that back surgery, man, I just think that is so impressive. And then Carter Dyson trying to turn his luck around. He is, I'm sure he is egging for a top 5, let alone a podium right now. Going throughout the battles here, Connor Morse has kind of walked away from Michael Gudger. And Connor Morse is looking at Joseph right now in that 26 car. He's reeling him in ever so
Something's
slightly.
happened to Samuel Stoner. He's jumped to pits. Looks like he might have gotten involved in something and decided to jump out the way. Keep it green.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea off of him, but man, look at these cars for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They are all on top of each other. You could throw a blanket under them all.
Blake Hoppy is really giving
Good
it
exit.
everything he's got here.
Good exit by the 15 car. We're going to see if he can set him up for this pass. Nope, he kind of backs off the corner a little bit, looking for some more exit speed, it looks like. And that 21 car is going to be hanging on that bottom side, going to be slowing up the 8 a little bit. That 15 car is liking what he's seeing. If he can keep it up on that high side, I say within 4 to 5 laps, he's going to start creeping his way around that 8 car of Blake Hoppy. I wonder if the teammate's going to let it go by easy, or he's going to be fighting hard for him, because I know Blake. Oh, Connor, he's going to be really, really close now, within a couple car lengths of Joseph. He ran him down from quite a few car lengths back, like I'd say probably almost over a second. And within a couple laps, he is there. He's looking to the inside. 89 checks up a little bit. being smart. Almost takes him out.
And these cars, they never do quite look like they're ever going straight. They are always sliding some way or another running around this track.
That's just the beauty of that Gen 4 car, man. I mean, they're so skewed. It's so funny. Joseph
Michael
could be
Gudger
walking back
coming
out
up
again.
on the lapped cars here. He's caught up in some lap traffic. So's Connor Morse down there on the bottom side. They're both kind of trying to get around it. So's Baumler as well.
That's going to allow Michael to get back inside the top 10.
Jackson Samsel's trying to get up on the wall, trying to stay as high as he can to get out of way. But it just, you know, that's the thing about the sliding in the dirt. It's not always, you know, just so easy to get out of the way in that case. Yeah. But yeah, look at what those cars trying to catch the wall
hard,
keeping themselves out of the way so that these cars can slide around. Tyler DeTalent making a big slide up here, catching up with the group. Tyler DeTalent,
you can only do so much.
Favorite.
Connor Morse back around the 64 car. Baumler is going to pinch the 89. I think Baumler is... Let's see. We need to go back over here. He's running for 10th right now, too. That is a battle for position. He's going to pinch off the 89 to Connor Morse, one number behind him, quite literally. And this battle for 10th just got real hot. Baumler looking for his first top 10 and his second start. We have Michael Gudger getting pinched behind Jackson, running the high side, and then we have Connor Morse behind him, running in 12th, it looks like.
Steve Loving dropping back very quickly here.
Oh no, that is not good for him.
Looks like
after
he might have gotten into the 47 of JT Lauderdale. It's unsure. You'll have to go back and just confirm. Did he just kind of lose it?
He lost it. He touched the berm and just slid down the track and lost it. Unfortunate for him. I mean, his luck has just also not been there, which is kind of surprising because Steve is so consistent. We saw him last season up inside top 5 almost every single race. I mean, had one of the best, if not like second best average finish.
Connor Morse and Michael Gudger sliding side by side. Really incredible racing they had there. Michael looking to the outside of Jackson Samsel, trying to get around him finally. I mean, Jackson, you know, he's been yielding, he's been getting out the way. Michael just can't seem to make the run on that lap car. And it's not like Jackson has to brake to let people by him, you know? So, I mean, that's just the beauty of it, you know? Jackson's plenty beating up his car, trying to give those cars a chance to get around him, and they just keep torturing him. And I imagine he's like, "End it, please, get around me."
Oh, hold on, we have a pass for 4th. Carter Dyson got around Blake Hoppy, and he's pulled some length on him, man. And he's gonna be catching that 21 car of Dustin Bali. If he can get around Dustin, that's gonna be a huge confidence boost, and hopefully he can keep his nose up there because I feel like he's going to be one of the happiest people in this field right now if he can keep this spot and maybe even snag a podium out of it.
Blake Hoppy, the distance between Blake Hoppy and Jay Bast, who's trying to make his way up into that top 5 position, is a solid 6-second gap there, as it's actually a battle, it looks like right now, between Jay Bass, Jonathan Cofield, not too far behind him. And then there's a 4-second gap between Baumler.
For 9th, 10th, and 11th. They are all on top of each other. Joseph Gregory is going to be holding strong in 9th place right now. Michael Gudger on the outside. He's going to be sending it in right in the wall. Gets in a little too hot.
Yeah, he's a little too hot there, trying to get out the way of the 26 there. I don't know what exactly happened. It looks like the 26 maybe just got... Oh, the 5! Robert Brobst is not having a good night here.
No, not at all, unfortunately. But I mean, he made it the feature, so he's going to maximize his points for the night.
Now, I'm pretty much a complete dirt rookie when it comes to this. I really don't know what we're looking at, but when it comes to talking about the concept of wall riding, what is the differentiation between, you know, some of these issues where it looks like guys might be kind of edging right on the line of what a wall ride would be considered, as we're looking at somebody like Michael Gudger right now, versus what we were looking at with what was maybe called on Jonathan Cofield earlier?
Well, the cushion is going to be the biggest thing. The cushion is a buildup of dirt on the outside of the track that if you can put your right rear on it, then you can get a lot of traction. It'll bite really heavy, and you will just be able to almost full throttle through it all, or get more throttle than most others can. And it gives you a lot of traction, a lot of grip, and your car will be a little bit sideways, kind of like what Michael Gudger's doing right now. And what Cofield was doing earlier, it seemed like he may have been sent to the back just due to his blinking issues. But what he was doing, it looked like, is he was kind of putting both ends of the car, both right side, front and rear, up against the wall and kind of just driving it off of there. It's like a little bit of a power boost almost. It gives you all the grip. You can put all the throttle down and you can just rip around the corners. That's how Steve Loving got his lap in practice, is he just rode the wall. Oh no, Connor self-spins!
Oh no!
And that's going to leave us with 10 laps to go. Unfortunate for Connor. He was having a great run.
He was really getting himself caught up there, but that's unfortunately the nature of it. But this is going to be a very interesting situation here, as these laps are going to tick down at this point. I mean, we're going to be looking at how many laps to go by the time we go green?
It's going to be 10 laps to go when we go green.
And I mean,
And it's
just
going to
yeah.
be single file too.
We take a look back, see what happened with Connor. Yeah, he gets kind of tight up against the wall. He goes for a correction, just ends up kind of losing it. Manages to park it down low. Nobody manages to contact him. Gets out of the way of Logan too and everything. So that was very fortunate. That wasn't a lot closer to everybody when that happened. But yeah, just really unfortunate. We've seen a lot of that tonight. You know, it's been hard for a lot of guys to really make that thing stick. So, I mean, hopefully, you know, he's got 10 laps to do it. Hopefully he can come out and make up some moves here. He's definitely been running an amazing race. So I mean, you know, you don't like to see when it happens to somebody who's been really pushing it all night, trying to make up a big difference here.
Yeah,
but as we do look here, we will be at 10 to go. This is a big opportunity. We will be single file. Is that right? Or
That is correct. And it looks like caution laps are not going to count. So 66 of 75, meaning 10 to go if you are race car knowledgeable. A lot of people will think that's 11 or 9 to go, but
you got to complete that.
don't worry about that. Exactly. A lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, well, just because you crossed that line, it means you finished a lap before it. You gotta go around one more time to complete it.
Yeah, it definitely threw me off in math class, so.
But yeah, as we look here, a big opportunity
Pace car
has
is
been
off.
made now. Logan Monteith, this could be an opportunity for Jacob Bradley to open up a shot. He's really got to send it here, firing in, as well as Carter Dyson really needs to take an opportunity at this point if he wants to get a shot at getting around Dustin Bally. But the same thing for Blake Hoppy to regain where he's at. But it looks like Jacob Bradley is not quite going to get the distance. But, I mean, Dustin Bally, Blake Hoppy, Carter Dyson, they're all pretty tight on one another back here.
Yeah, they are all on top of each other right now. Unfortunate for Carter, he lost a spot on that start. Just wasn't expecting it to look like, but let's see if he can work his way back around. But otherwise, Logan right now just taking that low entry, high exit. It's looking to be working as well. He's pulling away from that 50 car, and he built up a big gap during that longer run. And we're going to see if he could do that again. I mean, I don't know if Bradley has really anything for him right now. Logan is just on a mission. Oh, no! Logan in the wall hard! That is a rare mistake from Logan.
Jacob now has a chance to close this gap.
Yeah, he got in that a little too hard, a little more than he was expecting. He may have been thinking about tapping that right rear against it and just getting that car stabilized, but he sent it in there. The car hopped
Carter
up a little
Dyson
bit.
falling back.
Oh, no.
Jonathan Cofield as well dropping back a little bit here. Jay Bass has moved himself up into the top 5. He's now battling, trying to get around Blake Hoppy. Kevin Baumler and Carter Dyson edging out for position here. Carter Dyson trying to make the move on Jay Bass on the outside here with 6 to go in the Corn Belt 75, presented by M99 GRAFX.
Yeah, he's there for a second. He's going to clear him. Great job on that inside lane. Carter Dyson, he's just doing a little bit of damage control right now. Like you said, he fell back 2 spots, gained those 2 spots back almost the same lap, and now he's going to be looking for 4th again on his teammate, Blake Hoppy. Blake Hoppy looking at the rear end of the 21 car.
Ooh, Michael Gudger real loose out there. He's managing to hold it back, but that got him real loose. Carter Dyson throwing a
crazy
good
battle
amount
right now for 5th.
Good amount of tail blocking right into Jay Bass, really not giving him anywhere he could go on that outside.
But right now it is Logan running away.
The 88 car and the 64 car way up in the wall.
Jacob Bradley still running in 2nd, having a pretty decent sized gap between 1st and 3rd right there. He's kind of running on his own. I hear a lot of contact again. The 88 car once again in the fence, followed by the 64. Those two are just 2 peas in a pod right now against that outside wall in 1 and 2. Carter Dyson looking like he's gonna be a little bit. Oh,
Oh,
big
Blake
mistake by
Hoppy
Blake
across
Hoppy.
Carter Dyson's nose. Oh, it's
We're gonna be
Cinch J
three
Bass
wide
a little
here.
sideways. The 88 car now too. Kevin
Almost takes out the
Baumler.
15.
Kevin Baumler is
Oh, no.
dropping back.
That was on Baumler right there. Looked like he got in a little bit too hot. Touched the rear end of the 15 car. I was really kind of worried that the 15 of Carter Dyson was spun around. I was gonna feel so bad for him, but
And wouldn't you
got
know it,
lucky right there.
3 to go, looking at basically a green-white checkered out here. I mean, and standard rules as it is. I mean, these caution laps didn't count anyway, but for dirt track racing, we're coming right down to it. Let's take a look here and see what happened. That 88 car. As we go for a high view. '88 car comes up, has to get out from behind, and he ends up spinning himself off the back of the 15, collecting the 64 a little bit. 29 taps him a little. Yeah. Just looks like it could have ended up spinning the 15. Robert Probst, unable to not hit any car that is spun in front of him tonight.
Man.
I don't know if there's a driver we can compare him to, but we need to figure that one out. It's like kind of evening my man Robert Probst is having. There's a car on the track. It looks like he's almost kind of targeting himself towards it. Heat-seeking missile style.
You don't have to do him that dirty, man. Poor guy's going through it. He's in the trenches right now. Car's all mudded up. He's going home with 3 wheels, 2 fenders.
Hey,
He's
it's
going
okay.
home with half a window net. And now you just gotta add insult to injury on the poor guy.
Hey, it's not my fault. He's the one who was a Dirt Series champion back in, what was it, 2008? He shares about it all the time. He retired on top. This should be his place right now.
What an image. If Robert is able to snag a win this season, we are going to have to put that image up.
Well, we'll definitely need to get his approval on it for sure.
No, I don't think so. I'm going to trademark it.
Trademark Backmarkers Racing League. It didn't happen here, and it's from well over a decade before this league was formed. But
It'll
trademarked.
reside here. It will be living here. This is its forever home. But we're going to get the cars ready. Bradley going to have to get real tight on that rear bumper and have to kind of guess a start from Logan, because Logan's been getting great starts.
Logan really starts to send it off on the turns. Oh, Jacob kind of making it stick. Dustin,
a great start
too.
though from Logan.
Logan,
Justin's
of
gonna be
course,
on
putting
his
the
tail.
distance real quick there.
We got 2 laps to go right now. Logan's going to be ripping that high
Look
side.
at those cars
playing it
sliding
cautious.
around. It is Logan Monteith, Jacob Bradley, Dustin Bawley, Blake Hoppy, Carter Dyson, all in the top 5 sliding around in here. Really trying to set it as we're coming to the white flag. Logan Monteith is in the lead right now. Can Jacob Bradley make up a second? Will Logan make a mistake?
I don't think so. You got to look at the 21 of Dustin Bawley, too. Looking on that low side, see if he can get a final slide job in here. Maybe the 50 overcooks it a little bit. 21's able to hold on to the bottom.
And
the
Logan
50 car is
Monteith
gonna hit
coming
the-
around.
And he's going to claim his 2nd win of the season at home as well in Knoxville.
And he breaks up the trifecta. The hat trick cannot happen for Jacob Bradley. Oh, incredible, incredible time for him these past few races. But man, oh man, Logan Monteith coming in with a vengeance. We had our money on him all along. We knew that he just was he was a dirt guy. So for him to get out here, take home his 2nd win of the season, he is our 2nd 2-time winner on the season so far, in a season where we've had, I believe we're looking at 5 different winners at this point.
Yeah, we're looking at 5 different winners still in 7
Teammate
races.
Tyler
only 2
DeTalent
repeat
comes up.
winners.
Teammate Tyler DeTalent coming up, giving him a love tap. Jackson Samsel getting in the back of Dustin Bawley there. Dustin finishing on the podium with a really strong finish. I mean, Blake Hoppy not far off his trail at all. Held a really strong place up on that top 3 the entire time.
Yeah, I'm so happy for that top 5 for Carter. Speaking of that, I mean, let's start these interviews, man. Let's get Carter Dyson up in here. I bet you he's ecstatic after that 5th place. And if not, then we're going to make him excited. All right, Carter, you got us up in the booth?
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Not too much, man. Looks like you, knock on wood, broke some bad luck streaks, got your first top 10, let alone first top 5. You're running up in 4th for a while, looking at 3rd. A great day for you all around. I mean, what do you say about it?
Oh man, it was something. Not without controversy. There was Connor that slid up, and I got him. I had nowhere to go, and then another one where Brian came down and just chopped me, and I didn't think I did anything wrong, but I was just surviving, man. Everybody was surviving, and he got super slick at the end, so I'm happy with it.
It looks like it, man. But I mean, hey, top 5, first top 5 of the season, man. There's gonna be some good momentum working forward, or what?
Oh, we're trying. We've been trying to get momentum all season, and it's been a rough one. So won't cry myself to sleep tonight. That's good. So, but yeah, shout out to everybody at Evo Empire sticking with me. You know, thick and thin. It's been a season. I've really been kicking myself, but it feels good to contribute on this one. And, whew, yeah, sweating.
Awesome, man. Hey, well, I mean, a good result, and you got a lot of recognition throughout here, and you got a lot of people in the chat, looks like, saying congratulations to you, especially after the unluckiness that you've had. Great job, man. And I'll have to talk to Evil Empire. Maybe we can get a little more momentum in the engine, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll get you back to your team here. You can celebrate a little bit, but good job, man. Top 5.
Appreciate it.
That's his first interview all season. I mean, that's one of the first times I feel like I've really talked to him inside a Discord chat.
Yes, indeed. He's had some runs. I know he's made jokes about not being pulled into the booth for interview, but you know, I challenged him at one point. I said, "Hey, give us a reason to pull you in." He did it here tonight.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty impressed with it. Well, what do you say we work down our top 5 right now?
I think
Actually,
that's the
it
move.
looks like Blake Hoppy hopped off. I mean, can you really blame him? He's not feeling very well. Just got off surgery. Finished 4th.
Absolutely.
Another top 5 on the season, clocked off. Great job for him. And now, what do you say? Who do you think we interview?
Well, I think I mean, if you want to touch some other guys before, I mean, we could look potentially. I mean, it looks like a lot of people jumped off here. I imagine there's a lot of disappointment, some annoyance coming in here, but maybe we talk to Steve Loving. We haven't had a chance to speak to him yet. This race, he had a little bit of a tough one, but he finished just outside the top 10.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like he is not very happy. He just dropped something in the admin chat, but let's bring him in here. Let's see what he's got to say. All right, Steve, you got us up in the booth?
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much, man. So, unfortunate run. It looks like you kind of just got screwed by iRacing almost. You pulled over for the leaders, let them by, and just never got that opportunity to get back around. Or what happened?
That's basically it. I yielded for the leader. Caution came out, and then I put the whole pack all the way around and told me to go to the rear and let the whole pack go by. And that just locked me in the 12th, and I was like, whatever.
That's unfortunate, man. Well, I mean, you were up inside the top 5, top 6 for quite a bit. Got involved in 2 wrecks, it looks like, but overall, you were up there on speed. Confidence booster for next week at Auto Club?
Well, back to asphalt, so that's good. That's what the cars are designed for. So we'll put rubber back to asphalt and leave the dirt cars on dirt, and hopefully have a little more success.
Oh man, I like it. And I mean, as per usual, we think you're going to be a top 5, let alone top 3, and definitely have a chance to win next week. How you feeling for Auto Club just in general?
Better. It'll be exciting. I'll have a chance to practice. I won't just be getting out of a cab and getting home 2 hours prior to the race. So I didn't have any chance to turn any laps on this track tonight, except for about 15 minutes prior. So kind of had to figure it out on the fly. But yeah, next week will be a little bit better, and hopefully it'll be a good finish. And if everything works out and can collect at least the top 3, maybe it'll be the first one of the season. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but at minimum, I'd like a top 3.
All right, man. Well, I believe in you wholeheartedly, definitely. I'll put my money on that, and I'll put some car payments on it too. So I believe in you, and I really hope you can get it.
I wouldn't put that much on it.
Well, we'll give you back to your team here. Thank you for joining us. And I mean, not the finish you wanted, but overall, pretty solid run. I mean, speed-wise.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, you could tell the disappointment in the poor guy's voice. Just hasn't been able to get it going all season. He's had some great runs. It's just not the finishes to back it up, you know?
Absolutely, and that's the case for a lot of guys here. I mean, do you want to look at one more guy? I'll give you kind of pick of the litter here. Who do you think we should talk to before we get onto these podiums?
I'm looking at Joseph Gregory. He was up and down all night, it seemed like, and I don't think we've talked to him much at all, if at all in general. So let's bring him in here. All right, Joseph.
What's up, buddy?
You got us up in the booth?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, you haven't had a lot of starts with us here in BMR, but you finished really, really well here, and you locked your way into the B main event and throughout the night. Sorry, I was stumbling over my words here. My throat's getting a little sore again. But but you were just up and down all night inside the top 10, outside the top 10. You'd fight your way back through it. Good run overall, though. What do you think about it?
I appreciate it. I just kept overheating the right rear. Normally, you run the bottom on a dirt track, and it keeps the tires cold. It keeps them lasting longer. You get up and rip the top, and you wear them out. So I was trying to run the bottom. I kept putting my left front up on the berm, and I think pushing through that hooked my right rear a little bit. Put a lot of heat in it, so it made it pretty tough to get back to the throttle a lot of the times. But no, I love the series. It's a good series. I run just about every night, so this is a good one to get into.
Yeah, man. Well, overall, a good run. And how you feeling for next week now? You got a little bit of momentum on your side, it seems like. How you feeling?
I think we'll be pretty good next week. I mean, was it Auto Club? So I think we'll all the impact cars will be pretty decent there. We'll have some speed and hopefully contend for a win here. I'm thought we were gonna get lucky and get a caution last week, and didn't play out for us. But good, glad we got this dirt race over with and on to the next one.
All right, man. Well, we'll bring you back to your boys over there, and good run, man.
I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too. Well, I'm getting word too that the EOL earlier was not from wall riding. If there anybody is watching it, it's just from Cofield blinking quite a bit. So unfortunately,
that's our mistake as broadcasters. That's the unfortunate thing, and that's why I asked mid-race about the situation, trying to determine what we were looking at with wall riding, whether that was the factor. I mean, what was the difference between them? But we really only have what we have to go off of while we're looking. And Tyler kind of looked at that and said, "Hey, it must have been riding the wall. He was real tight in there." But looks like he actually wasn't in, and it was just a situational thing of just getting him to the back because of how bad he was blinking off track.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Cofield, but I mean, he had a great run overall throughout the night. Is there anybody else that you want to bring in here before we start talking to our podium?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think everybody in here would love something to say tonight, but that would end up kind of keeping us all in here. So I'll kind of let you decide if there's anybody else we should be calling in, since you are our certified interviewer here. And if not, then go ahead and move into those top three.
All right. Well, let's get Robert in here real quick. I mean, he kind of went through the alphabet soup, was doing really solid in the C main, did pretty solid in the B main, and unfortunate just disaster in the feature race. All right, Robert.
Oh.
Sorry to bring you in here while you were talking, but
yeah, let's make a conversation.
sorry about that. Well, just real quick, we'll make it brief. You had a great run coming up through the field. You didn't qualify for the race directly, but you started a C main, worked your way through the B, went and played alphabet soup for a bit, and unfortunately didn't have the best run in the feature race, but it looked like you finished 12th or 13th.
13th.
iRacing isn't giving me the best detail right now, but I mean,
me and Steve were on our own lap in 12th and 13th on the vintage there team there.
It looked like you just could not catch a break out there, man.
I am so sweating. It's there's something about when the track gets to being like it was towards the end that I don't get along with it. But
Well,
in the C main and the B main, I had reasonable speed. I don't think in the B that I wrecked Brady Powers into the other guy. I don't think I did, but it was real close. I didn't have any indications.
I think in the broadcast we said that he kind of came down the track a little bit. You were just ripping the middle lane and he came down, but it's
Yeah.
just dirt racing. But hey, you made the feature, you maximized points, 13th place. I mean, what more can you ask for, especially with the beginning that you had? You did not start out very well in the feature race, but almost the top 10.
Yeah, it was a decent run through the field there. I knew based on the practices and the practice races that we did that I could race better than I could hot lap, so it was going to be a lot of work to come up here tonight. And then I've got me a head cold, which is not helping anything.
Well, I mean, otherwise, pretty solid run, man. You, Blake Hoppy, a lot of people were not feeling very well, and you guys
Oh, I
seemed
am
to pull through.
feeling way better than Blake.
Yeah, I'm sure that's for sure, but
Because he
well,
is currently missing a disc out of his spine.
I wonder if that gained him a 10th,
The weight, yeah.
the weight reduction. But before we let you go, man, anything you want to say?
If anybody's still around watching, hello.
We have a solid 15 viewers currently still, so.
Oh, that's impressive. Good evening, everyone who's out there still watching. It was quite a good run through the C main. I enjoyed racing with my cousin there for a few laps, and and then he was behind me on a few restarts, and I was like, as soon as the wall goes from like that medium height down to the low height for the straightaway, I'm gonna go. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? Because he didn't notice that the wall went up to catch sprint cars, I guess. And then I took off, and he was like, oh.
Well, we always enjoy those battles between you two. It seems like you guys are near each other quite a bit, man. But thank you again for joining us, and good run tonight overall through the thick of it. And we'll let you go back to your team here.
Yeah, or wherever I end up.
All right, now let's get into your podium finishes.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so first off is going to be Dustin Bally, who I don't think he had too much confidence coming into this race, but I mean, solid finish overall. Held on throughout a lot of battling between Blake Hoppy, Carter Dyson, just a tirade of attackers behind him, but he held on for the podium. Mr. Dustin Bally, you got us?
I do, sir. How you guys doing?
Not too bad, man. I mean, you're probably doing pretty well too. Podium, I don't think you were the most confident coming into this race, but hey, you battled a lot of dirt guys in here, and you had an entourage behind you for a while, and you just held on, held strong. Great job.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was interesting out there. I mean, I never felt comfortable with the line I was running. I was trying high, I was trying low, and I just kind of used Jacob mostly as a gauge of what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. So just able to hang on to it. I want to give a really big shout out to Blake and Carter. That was a lot of fun racing with them. They're super clean. You know, I never hesitated for a second with them running side by side with me. So I appreciate that. And yeah, real happy to get the podium. I know for a while we were running 1, 2, 3, 4 with the top 4 in the championship. So to get my single point over Blake and maybe start clawing back some of that gap was good. And then a great day for off the wall racing. It was good to hear Jay finishing up in 6th after having some trouble early on, but glad we were able to pull off 2 in the top 6. It's really good.
Yeah, man. I mean, just impressive run overall from you, as per usual. I mean, obviously, dirt's not your forte, but we can't really ever count you out for at least a top 5. So good job, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I had a bunch of people watching this race. I wanted to call them out. My parents, Tom and Deb, my wife, Rebecca, my cousin, Alex, my best buddy, Kent, and then other friends, Josh and Andrew. So I hope they enjoyed the broadcast. I want to say a big thanks to M99 GRAFX for sponsoring both the series and the race, and Logan getting his second win of the season. It was well deserved. I don't think anyone was really getting anywhere close towards him or getting anywhere close to him all race. Jacob, I kind of had a shot there with that last restart and maybe could have made a move, but I was more focused on the guys behind. So to come away third, I'm really happy with it. And
Man, that's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, speaking of people related to you and family members and all, we got your wife up in the chat too. She was cheering for you earlier on. until you
Oh,
wrecked
goodness.
Steve, and she said, "Dang, go number 27." I'm
Mm,
just kidding with you.
yeah. Yeah, so that with with that one, I just saw him come down. I didn't really have anywhere to go, so it was not my intention to end his race.
No, it was just a racing incident. It happens, man, and we were just giggling at the fact that it was you two, of course, the two rivals. The
Always,
people
yeah.
people came into the chat just firing off on each other, and obviously we knew that you guys liked each other, but it's gonna be a rivalry all season to us.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was quick. I mean, he qualified real well, was running real well. Just that it happened to me in the practice race. You just sometimes get a little loose, and that can mess things up. So yeah, well, we're looking forward to Auto Club. I have never run the track before. I had never run this track before about 3 days ago, but I think it'll be. I'll probably enjoy that one a little bit more. I don't know if I'll finish as well because there's gonna be a lot of guys who are gonna be hungry for that top 5 and that podium. But we'll give it our best shot, and I hope Rain, this was a good day for you for Off the Wall.
I am always happy to see a podium driver of mine sitting up there. I mean, all of these points are very important. We're really trying to fight payday racing right now for that 4th position, moving up into 3rd. So, I mean, everything we see from you and Jay coming up in 6th, I'm very happy to see it. I know Austin got kind of cut out a little bit earlier, but that's 3 cars. We had 3 cars on the field bringing us points tonight. So, I'm very happy with the way you guys drove out here.
Yep, thank you. I'm glad we could deliver you a good finish, sir.
All right, let's get number 2 up in the booth. He was on a tear earlier this season and just had some bad luck. Rebounded, got 2 wins in a row, and now 2nd place in a race that he didn't think that he was going to do that well. And Mr. Jacob Bradley once again up inside the podium booth.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm here. I bought Knoxville at the beginning of the week. I thought it was going to be a really bad race, going to be one of my drop weeks, but somehow I ran 2nd in qualifying, and then I was with Monteith on all the restarts. He had way more long run pace than I did, but I would keep with him on the restarts. That was fun.
Yeah, man, you were putting on a show out there. You were sending them in. You were defending for a little bit against Dustin Bally on a short run, it looked like, but through the mid part of the race when we had a long green flag run, it looks like Logan was just pulling just a little bit away from you, and then you were pulling away from Dustin Bally, so you were kind of just on an island for a while. What more did you need from Logan, or what more did you need from the car to get up to Logan?
I just need to keep my tires cool. Logan has a lot of experience with this. He's always doing dirt racing, and I knew he was going to be really hard to beat on the long runs. He kept his tires cool, and that allowed him to go a lot faster on those long runs. When we get them both hot, then we were pretty close to each other.
Yes, sir, man. Well, you put on a great show tonight and kept up on that momentum, man. Never finished outside the top 2 in the last 3 races, and you almost had another one at Watkins Glen. Obviously, I don't want to bring up the old wounds, but you're on tear right now. This give you some momentum going into Auto Club, and how you feeling for that race too?
I'm feeling pretty good about Auto Club. We're back to asphalt. That's my forte. So we'll be back in some that I know, and I'm sure I'll be back up here again next week.
All right, man. Well, anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank all my teammates with Payday Racing. They all put on a good show. I know we lost Chris early in the B main, but they all did pretty good today. I want to thank my family who was all watching it, and I want to thank M99 GRAFX for sponsoring the race and the series.
All right, man. Well, thank you again for hopping up in here, and good run tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's get the winner up in here. The man who won Daytona earlier this season, first race of the season, and now he is back here in Victory Lane at I'd say a home track for him. Mr. Logan Monteith, you got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, awesome run tonight. You led every single lap from the feature, won from your heat race, and just never really looked back, man. How was it?
It was good. I loved it there at the end. I mean, other people are complaining it got too slick, but that's just a lack of talent talking. But yeah, I made a few mistakes there, got in the wall a couple times. Overall, it was a fun race. Ran the slider line there at the end, which, I mean, that was the fastest way around.
Yeah, man. Well, you put on a clinic here tonight. We all came into this race kind of knowing that you're going to be one of the top guys to beat, if not the top guy to beat, and you beat your championship rival right now, Mr. Jacob Bradley. How you feeling going into Auto Club next week?
I'm sure he'll win that one, but just hoping for a top 5 again and see how that goes from there.
All right, man. Well, once again, home track victory, season or a series sponsor, and the race sponsor as well. Just nailing all the boxes tonight, man. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, after a long night of dirt racing, what'd you take away from that, man?
You know what I took away from this is, holy cow, am I glad I wasn't behind the wheel of one of these things, because, oh, good lord. I definitely wouldn't have had what it takes to get out of one of those first heats. So, to everyone that even made it through a first heat, you're far better than I could be at that point. And to those of you who didn't quite make it through that first heat, I promise you still would have beat me. So, it's it's really tough out there on dirt. And I mean, to really try to get a handle on these cars, we had a little bit of a spat there towards about a third of the way through the race, and unfortunately, that ended up kind of slowing things down for a bit with a couple of cautions running out. We had a really nice green flag run towards the end there with only a few interruptions. So, I mean, to me, it's about as entertaining as you'd want to see. I mean, I know that I saw a lot of folks in chat really talking about how much fun it was and how much fun they had watching the race. I know a lot of our drivers have dropped into the chat to talk to other people and kind of say how much fun they had and how different it is trying to get a handle on it. But that's the cool thing about a race like this, when you get to run something like it, a dirt track race during regular season, a one-off. Man, what a unique opportunity to really change things up for a little bit in what can generally be kind of considered as like a repetitive kind of format if you don't get the schedule right. And our crew here, everybody who put things together, everybody who recommended, everybody who voted, to get this schedule put together, it was definitely the right one, because it has been a phenomenal time all the way through. And I'm really excited for Auto Club next week, because we're going to get back to speedway racing there, and we're going to have a full field. Good lord, are we going to have a full field, just based on the people that registered this evening, I imagine, plus the people that'll probably be coming back with Adam and Michael Boyles, who will be returning with Impact Racing. They had this week that couldn't make the race, so they'll be back in, and there's a number of others. Charles Broderick of Off the Wall wasn't able to make it this week. A lot of people are going to be finally coming back in, so Auto Club is not going to want to be one to miss, because we are going to have a major field for it.
100%. A big wide track. You can drive multiple lanes on it. It's going to be really fun to watch. But let's look at your championship battle. So Logan Monteith still going to maintain that lead. He's opened it up to a 9-point lead over Jacob Bradley. If Logan and Jacob get into it, Blake Hoppy's not too far behind. He has 240 points, which is 19 points behind those two. And yeah, this is going to get real tight coming down the ladder here. So Dustin Bally, too, obviously has that road course circled. He's at 237 points. So just over 20 points separating that top four. It's going to be real tight coming down to it.
Absolutely. And how are we looking in the teams?
Well, the teams, it looks like they are getting updated right now by our own Sean Johnson, who was unfortunately not able to make it tonight due to his graphics card issue. But like you said, we missed a lot of people this week. Next week, it's going to be a stacked field.
Absolutely. Well, and just like that, as we're kind of leaving on this for you, what do you have to look forward to this much, coming forward? Is it what's your most look forward to race coming up? Is it Auto Club? Are you excited for the Chicago Street Race that's going to be following Auto Club? The All-Star Race in Michigan, Charlotte, Bristol, Richmond, or our closer at Las Vegas? What are you really itching to see happen?
Well, you just asked me the hardest question that I can answer right now, because Auto Club, I love that track. That track has such a sentimental value with me. Always grew up watching that track, loving that track. I'm obviously a California boy, so just love it off of that fact. I've been to it once. It was my first cup race I've ever been to, and last season we opened it up there. I was able to take that victory and had probably one of the most intense races I've ever had in my life. So Auto Club, Charlotte, Bristol, and Vegas. Those are the 4 that I'm really looking forward to. I'm not going to give you one answer just because of the fact that I really can't.
Absolutely. You know, and I can't blame you whatsoever. I mean, for me, I'm saying the same thing. I think Auto Club's going to be crazy just because this is going to be the first time a lot of these guys all get on the track simultaneously, and we're not having people cut out in that kind of instance. I'm also really excited about the Chicago Street Course. I've been excited since we talked about doing it and have been wanting to see it on the schedule. I think it's going to be really interesting and a lot of fun. I think road courses are very fun to do to break things up, and Chicago is such a unique track and it's such a new spectacle that pulling the ARCA cars out there for us is going to be really cool. And I mean, to top it all off, love Charlotte, love Bristol. I mean, all on top of those tracks, and then we're closing it out at Vegas. Like you said, it's not one individual thing that you can really look at and say, "Hey, that's the one. That's the one I like right there." So it's definitely a not, can't miss situation if you're a viewer at this point. We're just getting into the thick of it. There is still an intense points battle happening here, and still an intense team points battle happening here. Anything goes, anything can happen. People are going to cycle in and out of being able to make it, not making it, people just straight dropping, people who just have bad days. It's going to happen, and that's the beauty of racing. So many things can happen on a week-to-week basis. Right now, we say, man, Logan, he just put a pretty big, he put a decent little gap between him and Jacob here, gave himself a little bit more breathing room, but that might not be the same case next week. What if something happens to Logan and Jacob takes a win, or at least gets a podium spot? We're now suddenly back in a shakeup. Anything can happen week to week, and if you miss a single race, you're not going to know. So you got to be here every Thursday night, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central is when we get started with the practice. The feature runs at 9 Eastern, 8 Central here, and that's when we start qualifying, and we start the feature just after that. So if you aren't here on Extreme Sim TV, you are missing out on some quality ARCA racing.
Yeah, you definitely are. I mean, you saw from this week, you saw from last week, just incredible racing all around. I'm just so impressed with these boys.
Absolutely. And of course, we can't do this without our sponsors. So as always, we have to thank Logan, our winner tonight. He is the league sponsor, M99 GRAFX. That is his company. He sponsors the M99 GRAFX ARCA series here for Backmarkers, and he also sponsored this race, which was, of course, the Corn Belt 75 here at Knoxville Raceway. And if you want to go show him the love he deserves, hey, he's a winner. He deserves a winner's following, right? Go over to his Instagram. He shows off all his paints. He shows his racing clips. It's at M99_GRAFX. That's at M99_GRAFX. That is his tag. Go drop him a follow. Give some love on his post. Throw him some comments because he definitely deserves it. Big supporter, big help, and just in general in the background of helping run this league too. So big thank you to him. And of course, big thank you to our broadcast partner, Extreme Sim TV. Matthew, thank you so much for allowing us to be able to run these races on your channel and get them to a bigger audience, a wider audience here. We are very grateful for the platform we've been given, and we try to make sure that it's definitely worth your while to have us on board. So thank you so much for housing us here. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank before we get ready to close this out, Tyler?
Obviously, my man Logan Monteith, like you said, sponsored the series, sponsored the race, sponsored last week's race as well. Just huge shout out to him, and then any of the series sponsors that are watching, such as Hot Rod Hobbies, Shark RC as per usual, Painting the Grass, also with Sean Deverich. He does both Home Smart and Painting the Grass. Obviously Evil Empire Sim Sport, because that's the team I'm on with 60'6" Foundation, and just all those guys, Raise Energy, and I'm looking forward to get back in the booth next week, man. This championship battle's got me on the edge of my seat. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Hopefully your voice will be feeling a little better. I do want to remind everybody we have a brand new page that's been launched. Of course, go look for us, Backmarkers Racing League. Go find us on Instagram. But we also have a brand new Facebook page that's been launched, and it is being updated with constant info and great, little trivia facts of what's going on, statistics, and awesome photographs. You can find that over on facebook.com/backmarkersracing. That is, of course, like I said, facebook.com/backmarkersracing. Go follow us on there. Go show some love to those posts. A lot of your favorites, your family, your friends, they're all being posted on there pretty regularly. So you're definitely going to want to see what's going on over there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Dustin Bally is doing a great job running that. So thank you to him if he's still watching. And yeah, I mean, anything else you got to say about this crazy race?
Well, I do want to say that I have been informed we do actually have a Twitter as well, so I'm sure that's Backmarkers Racing or Backmarkers Racing League. You know what you got to do. There's a giant orange bee that is attached to everything we do. Look for that. Go follow anything that has that attached, basically. You're probably going to find us. Go look for us there. But as for this race, what a phenomenal time. What an awesome time here at Knoxville. Looking forward to it, but of course, looking forward to next week, as always, as this coming Thursday night. It is going to be the first week of February. It's going to be February 2nd here. We're going to do the... I really should have asked Robert for correct pronunciation on this, but I believe it's the Vitesse Systems or Vitesse Systems 150. I will get clarification on that prior to next week's race, but big thanks to them for giving a sponsorship to this. That will be at Auto Club. It will be 75 laps, and it will be phenomenal. You do not want to miss it. But until then, once again, thank you to M99 GRAFX. Go follow at Instagram at M99_graphics, at M99_GRAFX to show Logan, our race and league sponsor, some love. And as well, please subscribe down below to Extreme Sim TV and help support this channel and help support Matthew, who is helping us to reach a wider audience and get an opportunity to be boosted here so everybody can see us and give us this platform. Tune in next week on Thursday. This has been Rain Braun alongside my broadcast colleague Tyler Barnett. We want to thank all of you so much for tuning in each week, and we hope to see you again next week. Goodbye, and have a wonderful night.